well, how locked down is this? Question. Like once this thing gets into my house, does it need to be on the Wi-Fi? All right, cool.
No, it can never
So
be on Wi-Fi. Something like that should never connect to the network.
No.
It's kind of
There
weird.
will be a hacker killing you very soon just for fun.
Yeah.
You cannot put that thing on the
Wi-Fi. Shoot, like I've been watching that there's that hacker on YouTube who's basically like showing you all the vulnerabilities you have. Like I don't know if y'all seen those. I guess they would be TikToks.
I watch a lot of hackers on YouTube,
but
I don't want to do that.
They're YouTube shorts, and he's like sitting across from another guy who's interviewing him, showing him all the ways he can basically compromise him digitally, and it's just like really the only reason nobody's done it to me is I'm not important. That's how I feel. Like if there was a reason that they could do it, they do it. Like it is this world, if you want to think about it, right? And I guess the world's always been frightening, but
that's pretty much it. Unless you piss somebody off, or you
sometimes
really important.
Fun. Like sometimes they're just having a good time, and you just happen to be very, very vulnerable. So they,
yeah,
you're just like a juicy calf they're about to slaughter. Like they don't necessarily.
It doesn't take much.
So I don't know. If you wanted to, you could be scared of everything now.
I mean, if you watch The Beekeeper, if you get like that's a
Jason Statham movie. You talking about that movie?
Yeah. That was just somebody who she wasn't very versed in computers, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Blah, blah, blah. So they target like a lot of older folks who like are not versed in computers, or somebody who's not versed in cybersecurity, and
which would adversely affect Black people since so many people grew up with their grandparents. Compared to,
and that's and they say target. It was a Black woman who was in charge of some major accounts, and they stole all of it.
That's tough.
No, pig butchering is a awful thing, and everyone who does it, definitely should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Unfortunately, though, a lot of people who are the ones doing the calls or the ones setting up the butcher are not the ones who are actually in charge of it. 9 times out of 10, they're also the ones being extorted themselves.
Oh, I guess so.
It's those scammers on the phone. 9 times out of 10, I kid you not, they are not there because they want to be. It's because they are there because they are forced. Their passports are being held. They're, sometimes the cartels will even like directly kidnap their kids just to have them sit in front of a phone and scam Americans and other countries. Like it's just
that's rough.
Fucking gross.
I understand why they curse me out so much now when I don't comply. I'm just a difficult person, like not even on purpose, like because I genuinely want to help people. So like somebody calls me, I'm like trying to help them, but sometimes I'm like, these are all things I can't help you with because they're not real. Like no, I don't. This isn't a real thing that you're trying to sell me, and I just can't purchase fake stuff. I'm sorry. But then eventually they just they curse you out when you get to that point. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it was a scam because
it was a scam.
Because even if you want to do that professionally, you just don't, right? so I know that like if you get to that point where I hear the curse word before you hang the phone up, I'm like, oh, they're not in the office. I guess they could be working from home.
Yes, they could be working from home, bro.
But yeah, I'm like,
with that we should get started. Y'all ready?
One thing before we get started, I will say that on that one point where it's like I say 9 out of 10. On that 10th time, there are those who work for like proper like scamming companies where like it's the same level as like Google as far as like employment benefits, but like they're working like 24/7 across the clock, and like. But I mean, they never have to worry about going anywhere. Right, they have people bring them food, catering, chef, like everything.
Yep, that's beekeeper. Yeah,
that's the most logical thing about beekeeper is the fact that it happened in the States, because like state scam sessions don't happen often, or at least I haven't seen the movie, but it looks like it happens in the States, or at least like more European-based country. Like,
or maybe you should watch the movie. Maybe you'll like it.
Like America shuts scam places down immediately. Now we host them, majority of those, like, the service and stuff and enterprise, all of that stuff is done here, or at least routed through here. But as far as like organizations that do the scamming being set up here, that's hit or miss. Also a lot riskier.
You should watch the movie.
I will if it ever comes to Max. We're not going to pay for that.
Yeah, it's not.
Or if I find it on the high seas. I mean,
Right.
What seas? There are no seas.
I don't know what you're talking about, seas. I don't know.
Never.
Seas.
What's
So,
the Dune world? We live on that Dune world.
There you
Arrakis.
go. Ain't
It's
no
Arrakis.
seas.
There's no water.
Arrakis.
Yeah,
Arrakis.
that's where we live.
Alright. Sheesh.
Terrible.
All right. Y'all niggas ready?
Yep.
Yes.
No, honestly, I have existential dread that haunts my every waking dreams.
Oh man, you just gotta not think about it, Tag.
It's just
That's
hard
just
not to
life.
think about
Yeah,
it, man.
I mean,
Yeah, you
to
live
be-
with
That's
that.
just life.
To be
Yeah.
fair, humans have been in danger from the beginning, so don't even sweat it. Like,
Yes, but we used to be able to shoot it with a gun and be done.
but you didn't
Now
always,
we're giving.
you didn't
we
always
still
have
try to do
guns,
that.
Tag. You had to work up the guns. They survived that long working up the guns when the things were much larger too. So
This,
That
I
is
guess
true.
this is true.
And you know what? We'll put a pin in that.
So I'll start the show.
So,
For Tech going another rant.
Hey.
thank y'all for joining us and welcome to the Blerdimension podcast. Follow us at Blerdimension here and on YouTube if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so you can be the first to know when we got new content for you. I'm Kavon, Negrito Suave. We got JK, Beasternal,
What's up? That's all I got.
AJ Naslenja.
hey everybody, I am not going to die in the apocalypse. Somehow I will make it.
Totally. JD creates activity.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We're happy to have you here, and we hope this podcast doesn't fill you with dread. We're all human. We haven't been replaced yet.
Not yet.
Or have we?
You never know.
You
This whole
never
thing
know.
could be AI generated, you know?
This is all AI.
This
generated.
is good.
This is an AI skit. That's one of the telltale markets of an AI skit too. Is you mentioned being an AI skit in the skit.
Bruh.
Yep.
We got Carl XKBHX.
What's up, folks? I too plan on surviving the apocalypse somehow. Nobody knows how, but
We'll figure it out. You
We'll
know,
find a way.
smart. We got 3 segments for y'all in the podcast. We're gonna talk about nerdy news and headlines. After news, we have Spotlight to discuss the topic of the week. This week we are, still talking about the fate of the human race as we just speed running the automaton apocalypse. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about what we've been consuming and what's good. That just means games we've been playing, shows or movies we've been watching, comics we've been reading, all that kind of good stuff. And after the podcast, we're gonna get into after podcast gaming. Tonight we're gonna play some Halo. So, stick around for that.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
So excited.
bow bow.
I don't think we agreed to that.
Oh, we absolutely.
Oh no, we're so excited about Halo.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Totally.
a
So first,
broad-based consensus.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Counted it up, twice.
Mm-hmm.
So for first up, we got the stuff with Yuzu and Nintendo. Yuzu is dead. I did I was like, I don't know if they're gonna come out of this. Went to GitHub, downloaded the source. I was like, just in case I ever need this. I may not, I don't own a Switch.
Oh, got Yuzu insurance.
But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So they actually decided to settle with Nintendo. I want to say
2.4.
and it was a lot of money, $2.4 million that they're gonna pay to Nintendo. And so, like, because when I read this, I was like, okay, Yuzu is open source software. Where the fuck are they getting $2.4 million?
Well, they have a Patreon, and that
Oh.
Patreon, they have like,
Highly successful
and it
Patreon.
made like
Highly successful.
$30,000 a month. So
Get the fuck out
How
of
much?
$30,000 a month. That was at least on one of the articles I read. Yeah, $30,000.
That's bonkers. I had
Uncle
no
Carl.
idea
Yeah,
that the Patreon was just they was fucking caking like
they
that.
had $2.4 million. Is the point?
Yeah, oh yeah, they had it.
They had-
Obviously.
had
What?
to-
So
they had to-
okay. Now that I know how they got it, they are gonna have to stop distributing it, obviously, all that kind of stuff. So the website is down. I tried to go to it. It's dead. The GitHub repo.
You already got your stuff.
They
down.
took that money and dipped.
Absolutely. Apparently these
Well,
Well,
they
niggas
had
are
no
nuts.
choice. They had no choice. They would have continued to make $30,000 a month if they
Absolutely.
could. They had no choice but to
Absolutely.
take the money and leave.
No wonder why everybody got Patreon.
So I think the reason they lost the reason they had to pay $2.4 million is because of the Zelda leaks, right?
Yeah.
So if you can say, hey, they basically sold 1 million free copies of our new game, big game.
Brand new. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
the
gonna
new
get,
Zelda?
Yeah, I think it was Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's
Basically,
big.
if people were downloading that illegally because of what you're producing, that's where the 2.4 comes. Because it was in damages, right? And at first I was like, what damages? Like they ain't really
Exactly.
but you I'm getting Zelda for free? Yeah, you probably that's damages.
They might have gotten off easy then. now that I think
for
about
real.
it.
That's
That's
damages
still
though.
technically still an IP.
Yeah.
That's definitely cyber crime right there.
So let's see. They were making some ROMs apparently, and like distributing them
Mhm.
amongst the Yuzu devs. And so the one thing that people were citing, like AJ was saying, was that they were getting they had a copy of a new game before the game released and were passing that around and like I guess kind of showing off. So then they got caught. Got
So in
caught.
other words,
So
they
really, it was just a Nintendo employee acting up, and
been.
now
Most likely.
everybody. It could have been a Nintendo plant. Nintendo might have been like, "Yeah,
Let's leak
circulate
this.
this so that we can get them, because we have no other legal basis to shut them down." So we could
So
say
they
they're
did a
distributing
honeypot.
Absolutely.
Not
It's a
that
long
way.
time
That's
to
fair.
be
That's fair.
undercover.
And you know,
But
Nintendo
these
has-
companies do that corporate espionage bullshit all the time, especially when they have no legal recourse of stopping a smaller guy. They will definitely, without a doubt, find somebody to pay to take care of the problem.
Yeah. And the thing that hurts the most to me is like they don't really be innovating, right? So it's like you
Innovation costs money, AJ. They're not
that's
gonna
what I'm
spend
saying.
that.
Like
A
they
lot of
just
money.
want to make money. They don't want to do nothing though. And that's the thing that hurts because it's like like most of these people want to play these playing ROMs is easy. It's better for streamers. You want to play Pokemon on Twitch or something like that, right? Like it's easier to do it that way. Like if you want to play like an old Nintendo game, there's not a costly way to do it, right? Like if you want to play N64 games right now, you gotta pay what? There's $30 a month or something like that. What are you paying to get the
40, something like that?
It's so expensive. I'm like,
a month, 40?
It's like a month. Like, because at first I was like, oh, Nintendo games on the Switch. I love 64 games on the Switch. I'm gonna.
It's like 24 the membership.
And then that's not enough.
And an extra 20 or 30 for the old school N64.
That's exactly my point.
That's insane, dude.
And
multiples of Game Pass per month.
Right. And so I'm like, if you want to play like old N64 games, you better have an old N64. That's why I got two up there. One of them is broken. The other one is not. I'm going to repair it. And then I'm going to hit all of these vintage gaming stores And
Yeah, low key, you can go to there's a spot up here called Starland. You can go get N64, Dreamcast, Sega, whatever, like all
See?
old school, all the old school consoles.
mm-hmm.
It's it's pricey though to get the console.
They're as expensive as they were when they came out, if not more.
Yeah. I'm like, it's like $300 for the N64 almost.
There's a Goodwill
200.
electronics store up the road. They refurbish them, so you can get them for like, you're still paying like, for a Sega Genesis, you're paying like $79.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What reason?
Definitely not for the technology. I mean, there's more technology in a calculator these days than a Sega Genesis.
Absolutely.
But if you go to the thrift store,
you can play all those games on a Texas Instruments.
Right.
TI-89.
Yeah.
$50.
But if you could find one in the thrift store that's not broken.
For all that damn money, I hope you better be able to play video games on that calculator. Only damn reason I have one now.
Kristen said, got room for one more. The baby's down.
Hey.
What?
Uh-oh.
Old school Full House.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Bow, bow,
Lucky
bow.
light skin energy ray.
Bruh.
Tega's been missing that. Ain't been no night skin energy.
Oh,
Ain't no light skin energy here.
Nah, bro.
It's been
It's
too
just
long.
deceased.
Facts.
It includes wait a second. It's $50 a year. That's what Maureen said.
Good gracious.
For what?
Now?
Or in any NES through 64 on
Oh,
Switch.
wait. On top of the other fee?
No, I think that's
Oh,
maybe
altogether $50.
I think that's all it is.
Yeah, it's that plus it's the membership plus access to the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about
That's
to
all
say.
it is.
Membership plus access, because membership does not provide you access.
Yes, membership.
If you want, that just
Oh.
allows you to be called a cool kid.
$80 a
can't
year
do
for
anything.
8 people.
You can't
That's
do
crazy.
nothing.
And
Okay.
this $80 a year for 8 people makes me want to cry, like real tears. Like that's a ridiculous price. That's
Real
like
tears.
Oh, look at this
That
nigga
makes me
grout.
cry. Real tears.
Wow.
that's
Look
like
at that light skin nigga grout.
Hold up. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Cool. Yeah, my setup isn't the same, so yeah, I'm gonna have to be Carl for the night.
How dare you?
It's all right.
Except I'm a beige square.
Beige
always
square.
dream
Light
of
skin
being
energy.
so
So you're still trying to match
Feel
the
the light
skin
skin
tone.
energy.
Yes.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah, of course. Why
That's-
not?
yeah.
It's
Put
the
that light
superior
skin
skin tone.
Wow.
Wow.
Yo.
Uh,
Look at this man.
I completely agree. You seem like the kind of person that would pay $80 a year for Nintendo products. That's what you seem like.
You said $80 a year for Nintendo products?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of Nintendo products?
Like
What are we talking?
Access.
online access, NES games to N64 games.
He said $50 a year. Are you sure? Because I know if you just on the regular,
Yeah, they got
Nintendo
different
phone,
tiers.
You already paying something a month.
$20 a year for.
It depends
online
what you
access.
want.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the access, you're paying $20 a year, and you're paying You're already paying how much a month again? I know I pay it. I don't know how much it is anymore. But
I think it's like
the race
$10,
rate.
$5, something like that.
Yeah, you're already paying
Something.
something just to you're already paying something just to be one of the cool kids, like Carl said.
Oh, he said NES, N64, Sega Genesis, and Game Boy.
How can they sell Sega Genesis? That's ridiculous.
I mean, Sega's selling it.
Yeah.
No, Sega's selling, but you come on now. You should put Sega in the free category. That's not. You gonna sell me Sega Genesis?
Yo.
That's so disrespectful.
No, not to Sega. I'm saying that's not your thing. You didn't even do anything for it. Like really?
Well, they just I mean, it's the same thing as like
Xbox is
how
making all
Game
those
Pass.
games.
Yeah, it's just Sega licensed their.
But
their
like,
stuff.
but we're already paying them money, so that Sega should be grandfathered into the money I'm paying you. Why do I have to pay you more money for something you did not create? It's not your IP.
To pay for
Well,
that
they bought-
license.
Yeah, they pay for the license, and through that license, the amount of money they pay for that license, they up the charge
Everyone
for you to play the
knows
games.
that can't be an expensive license because almost every gaming platform sells Sega.
Shit, you'd be surprised. I mean, it's Sega. Sega is like.
No, I know that Sega is iconic, and Sega is also got a lot of nostalgic games on there. But every platform has Sega, almost, right?
No,
Not really. Not the whole catalog.
No.
Not the whole like Genesis catalog. Like that's the selling point. I mean, you could just emulate those things, but everybody. But let's be honest. Like that shit is.
You can't emulate.
It's more work.
That's why we're talking about this. You can't emulate everything. You might lose 2.4 million.
You know what? I'm curious now. I'm curious. How expensive is it to get a Sega license? That could be a product right there.
I mean, Sega is doing good right now. So
well, I know they're making money because
everybody would make money on IP, and they do no innovation anymore. It's easy to make money.
Yeah,
but you have like 10 employees.
Sega low-key has been killing it. Like they have was it Sega Atlas? They've been making these JRPGs and stuff. There's one of these things that have been. Yeah, they made the whole Yakuza series. Like Sega's been on. Yeah, Sega's been on point.
Yeah, Yakuza is from Sega, isn't it? I forgot.
Their bread and butter has been like this JRPG stuff. Like
that's the Japanese RPGs, right? That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the things that just came out. I forget the name of it, but they've been keeping like Sega like afloat for a long time. I mean, the Sonic games have been doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they kind of them and Persona is on Sega as well.
Oh,
they were talking about doing
Persona.
They're talking about redoing Vanquish. Crescent.
They're talking about redoing it,
like remastering it, putting
don't tease me, man.
He said, "Don't tease me. Don't give me hope just to rip it away from me."
That's Titanfall area right there.
Titanfall 3, bro.
Titanfall might be coming back, but not in like. I don't know why they just won't make Titanfall 3. They're doing everything but.
They're doing Apex and all that shit.
It's Respawn though, right?
Yeah.
It's Respawn.
Did they do something with like? Were they gonna make like a Star Wars game and then it was just like nah?
Yeah, they're gonna make
Respawn is having like a lot of issues because Apex just made a resurgence with the latest update, and so like they're for a while they were consistently losing people, and I guess that's the problem with these live service games. It's just like they can lose them for like a little bit, but the moment they put out a fresh content, everyone comes back and plays.
I would have loved to play a Mandalorian Respawn game.
Oh my goodness! When I heard about that, I was like, "This is the game, the Star Wars game. Everyone's.
This is what I want.
This is Halo.
That would have been dope.
But with the Star Wars veneer on it.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
There's a bag there to collect that they are not collecting,
and they're like, you know what? We don't like money.
I need them to see the success of Helldivers and think to themselves, we also have a space universe that people can like walk around in ships and collect bounties and like, bruh, give me that.
A bounty hunter game is super possible now, and for some reason, never gonna happen.
Yeah,
and some reason, never gonna happen.
Robots in the living room, but I'll never be able to be Boba Fett. Never. That's what it seems like.
Jango and Boba will ever be a dream.
Yeah, that hurts.
It hurts. It really does. It really does hurt.
So did I miss the Switch slander?
No, we're gonna skip right over.
We were not gonna slander the Switch on tonight, but
keep y'all motherfuckers in
check. We about to slander Apple though.
Oh, interesting. Apple just acquired an AI startup.
Okay, hold that thought. The last thing that I wanted to say about Yuzu is that there's another, I guess, group of maintainers who picked up where they left off. So there's Suyu now, which is hilarious to say.
Here we go.
But,
that's funny.
That's the name of their product.
Suyu.
Yep.
That sounds like that blood shit. Supu.
Oh. Yeah, you better watch what neighborhood you say that name in. That's right. That's true.
You better watch it.
You doing what?
Sorry. I'm not gonna throw gang signs real quick because I feel like Twitch is gonna be like permaban.
Absolutely.
Yeah, permaban you. That's it.
I just wouldn't throw gang signs because I don't know.
You got a gang bot.
Just
I don't have any gang signs. Yeah.
You said a gang.
Despite what you all might think,
This.
we don't all know gang signs.
it's gangster
There you
blurs
go.
out there.
There are gangster blurs out there.
Yeah.
If you a blur, you ain't no gangster.
That's a lie.
I
You know.
mean,
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know.
People contain
You'd be
multiple.
surprised.
You ain't the general gangster people think you are.
Oh,
Gangsters are very multifaceted these
Yeah,
days.
Absolutely.
They're diverse. You gotta have a smart nigga in your group, in your team.
You gotta have a smart nigga. You gotta have a computer nigga on your
You never
group.
seen
Yeah.
that Instagram?
I don't see any gangster organization not having at least some IT nigga on the payroll.
You need an IT nigga or are you in trouble?
Exactly.
You never seen that post? Somebody made a post of the cartel watching Dragon Ball Z and hearing about Toriyama dying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was like a ceasefire or something.
There's a
That's
ceasefire,
what they were
fam.
talking about.
A whole ass ceasefire.
I wonder if
This
that was
man.
real though. That sounds like somebody trolling.
Hope it was real. I saw it on multiple different articles. I didn't do a lot of digging. I just saw it and I was just like, my heart smiled and I was like, I hope it's real. I hope because this man passed, there are like, multiple families just not losing lives today. It's just like I hope that's the case.
That's a real, nice though. I want to say one of the joints I was looking at said it was fake, but fingers crossed. Hopefully it was,
Fingers crossed. I'm
real
gonna live in this blissful world where that
Absolutely.
happens for just a little bit longer.
So yeah, but
You were
far
saying
as-
sue you now?
yeah, so sue you. If you need
Sue you?
play some Switch games, in high quality and everything like that. That's your stop now. So
That's hilarious that they picked it up.
absolutely.
Oh, they better start their Patreon right now.
That was so
Right now.
dumb. They should have never started that Patreon.
Collect your stacks. Well, it's dumb only if the $2.4 million was all the money they made, which I doubt.
Nah, yeah, I
So it's not
judging-
dumb.
a month.
They still made money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They still made.
They still made money.
Yeah.
We're the ones who like if you're using that software, you're the ones who suffer because they made the Patreon. But I mean,
Do you have an idea of team size for this? Who was like the amount of people they had on pay?
Let's see if Google knows real quick. Nope.
We gotta start the Switch 2 engine. So we gotta take out all opposition right now. Easy
I just
target.
realized what Maurice said. You said y'all about to get sued out of existence.
Well, you're not gonna get sued for nothing.
We haven't done anything.
We don't own anything, and we are not making any money on Patreon. So they can't do what they gonna come for. What they gonna come for?
Right.
Facts.
Come for the Twitch revenue. They gonna have to subscribe first, and then they can sue us.
All right. So yeah, that's I think that's all for Yuzu. This
onto this Apple slander.
Yeah. Last week, Tim Sweeney posted a scathing tweet about Apple and the way that they've handled their I guess the lawsuit situation and everything. And Apple was talking about killing like home screen apps, like where you can take like a progressive web app and just like put it on your home screen and it'll have the little favicon as the icon.
Wow.
So they wanted to get rid of that because they want developers to put their apps in the App Store and they want to be able to get their piece of the pie. So they were talking a little reckless about that. I think they're investigating them about that in Europe. But anyway, so Tim Sweeney posted this tweet, and Apple like deleted their developer account, like the Epic developer account from like the Apple developer, I guess, role or whatever. And
they reinstated it though.
They did reinstate
Europe.
it. People did not like it. There was like a big kerfuffle on Twitter about it. And I mean, I understand. I get it.
Let me ask, is anybody throwing Tim Cook under the bus for this? Or they're just saying Apple?
They're just saying
Tim Apple.
See, which is interesting. Which is interesting because if people's account disappear on X, this is Elon. Elon did it. You know, Elon was on the computer clicking those buttons to delete the account.
But to be fair,
Apple does it.
To be fair, Elon seems like he would do it. That's just the truth about the person he plays on the internet. You can't really get mad at us for believing him, right? Like he plays the troll on Twitter himself,
absolutely,
or on X himself, right? So you can't get mad at people for associating him with trollish behavior.
Cook is more strategic in his public appearances. Like you don't really He's not Steve Jobs. He's a typical CEO.
in the
You only
background.
see him when there's something big or like he's layered himself against like he's not he's not as like attached to that brand as like a Elon or plus he's just not out there as much. He's not a public person really. And that's smart.
And Twitter lends itself to trollish behavior, and if you jump into the muck as the most famous troll now, because you own the platform, you have no choice but to accept that people are going to say.
I'm not saying he shouldn't get slandered for it. I'm just noting the difference, because there's not some random engineer that's like, I take offense to what you said about Apple, and I'm going to shut down your account. That's never going to happen. That's at least at the C-suite, if not Tim himself, make that happen.
Somebody's fingers slipped. Truncate database. Then
truncate table.
Table. And then they accidentally got rid of your account specifically somehow. Well, this is somebody's finger slip. They were doing regular routine maintenance on their database. Exactly. And Epic's account got lost in that. But they restored it. They backed up to restore. And they were like, "We're so sorry. We were just."
That's why.
No manual interaction with DBs at Apple. Pretty confident on that.
That's
pretty confident on that.
That's all it was, man. It and what I'm telling you is the way Elon behaves on X. You just can see him doing that, even though I doubt he has the time, right? Like,
no, he's doing it. No, he has the time. Of course, he has the time. He's doing it. He has his guy down in the basement that his sole job is this. Look, I need you to shadow ban for about a week and then delete. So it looks like it's
just make more money than all of us combined.
That way.
It's Optimus down there doing it.
Give me that job. I'll do it.
Absolutely.
He's got Optimus down there doing it.
I'll do it.
He built it hands just so he could shadow ban people. It's working off of an Android phone.
Elon definitely has the time for that. He'll make all the time in the world for that. So he's about that life. But apparently so is Tim.
Hey, we don't know if it was.
No, it's him. It's him. It's him.
There are several steps up to Tim that could have made that decision.
Could have.
Several faceless dictator type individuals before Tim. Tim could have just been minding his own business, drink coffee, and he's on scrolling on X.
He's minding everybody's business, not just his own. How dare you? Well,
that's Jeff Bezos minding everyone else's business. That's not Tim.
Look, they get down the same way. They get down the same way. Timmy did it. I'm convinced. He's responsible.
He may have.
Wow.
All right, Carl, something gonna happen to your iPad accounts.
Par for the course, Timmy.
Look, you wait for it. He gonna come back vindicated.
You don't got an epic following to tweet to.
Damn. Well,
you ain't got an epic following to tweet to when your iPad start acting up. Yeah, your
True.
MacBooks are acting up. It's just gonna
Gonna be
act up
stuck.
randomly.
Like,
You could
what's
stop- You could
this?
stop right now.
Yo,
It's a jerk
that's
face.
like tangentially. I did see a tweet not too long ago where somebody was talking about someone in IT at their company was like messing up stuff they were doing for like years,
Ooh,
just like
sabotage.
straight up sabotage.
So wait, didn't that happen at school with us? Wasn't that
Let me see if I find this.
what's his name? Passad, wasn't he?
Oh shit! Yeah, he did do that.
What was he
He
doing?
was doing that
He
shit.
was basically cyberbullying.
Yeah.
He was cyber sabotaging Alan because he was about
Oh yeah,
he was about to be named chair.
Yeah.
That actually happened at our school.
So
it's
was he
very-
just bullying, saying stuff on anonymously, or
He
he
sent
actually
out an
like
email. He sent out an email to everybody in the department. Well, I got the email, and a bunch of other
basically
people.
exposing Alan Consultant, right?
Yeah, saying that Alan doesn't.
Oh yeah, he
he
snitched on
was-
him.
He was doing consulting during his office hours when he's supposed to be teaching, and he was
Snitch.
doing
Sounds like a hater.
innovation.
Yeah, he is
big time. And so
Look,
because of
crusty
that,
ass.
because of that whole controversy, they told Alan to step down, and they gave the seat to
Dr.
Yeah,
Evans, right?
Dr.
Evans.
Evans. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Could
I
you
think
imagine
Prasad
being
got
there?
it. I think Prasad did get it for a moment, right?
He
And then they
did.
found
Then
out
he got
that he was
arrested.
behind it, and then got arrested. And
Yep.
so then he lost.
He didn't get immediately arrested, but
Somebody
they
put that on Twitter, and I remember
So
some people. I'm not going to name any names. There was
yeah,
it was
so
Ding Dong the Witch is Dead dancing.
yeah, pretty much. So the funny thing was
I can't
that day
possibly imagine who would do
after.
that.
That day after, I told Alan when I found, he's like, "Oh, okay, thanks for telling me. Yeah, we found out about it, blah blah blah." And so like later on that week, I came to him, so Dr. Allen, what? So he's like, "Yeah, so I had some friends like trace the IP back from the email." and he found out that it was bounced between.
Oh, he bounced it. Proud of him for bouncing.
He
is the Datacom professor, so it makes perfect sense for him to bounce things. He ain't gonna just send his email. He's smart enough to...
Right, and Dr. Al was like, "Oh, it's weird because it was like coming from like India, UK, all the different places, but it came back here." I was like, "Oh, where did it come back to?"
Trying to be MacGyver out here.
He's like, right. He's like, don't worry, it's all taken care of. You know, there's an investigation, blah blah. I was like, oh, okay. And then a couple weeks later, guess who they saw?
Crusty. That dude was crusty, dog.
Listen, like the way they compensate FAMU professors, of course he's consulting during office hours. They're not making what they're supposed to be making.
If he wasn't doing that though, like we wouldn't have had that Google program with the HBCUs. Like him and Dr. Jones were working on that. Like after I left, and they got that program. They were able to go to Google campus and work on shit. I was like, he's trying to give us more opportunities, and you over here hating, sending out emails to people and shit. Like, if you really cared about the students, you'd be just like, damn, maybe I should do the same thing. But no, you want to be a hater talking about, oh, I was in this education system in India is the hardest school in the world, and I came out of it as a computer scientist.
But you hate your students, like you said.
Right.
You hate them. It'd be one thing. Like why do you want to be Dumbledore? But you over here being serious. Or
Snape.
Severus Snape is what
Severus
you being.
Snape, yeah.
Like you.
Nah, he really being Umbridge.
Yeah, he secretly liked the students. This guy doesn't.
That's true. Well, see, Snape didn't secretly like the students. He was secretly not the villain. That's all it really is. Like people add more to his character than they. No, he hated the people he hated for real. He just wasn't evil. Like he was a double agent. Doesn't mean he was good. He was still bad. He was just a bad guy who was also a double agent. No.
Yeah.
Snape hated everybody he hated, and he actually tortured those kids. He didn't pretend to torture them. When they were alone with him, he tortured them the way he like psychologically tortured those kids. If he was really a good guy, he would have, he wouldn't have actually done the harmful stuff throughout the 7 books to get to that point.
Oh, we're talking about Snape. I thought you were talking about Prasad. My bad.
I'm talking about both of them.
It's drawing a
I'm drawing. It's an allegory. Snape is an allegory to Prasad. Prasad's not like Carl said. At least Snape had some redeeming qualities. Prasad hated all of us. Luckily, I only had one interaction with him. Period. But no student was ever like, he likes us. Like this is for our good.
He tried to talk to me. I was like, okay.
But nah, he was out there saying he literally failed people for not knowing the material, for being a minute late, or for their phone ringing. Yes. He would fail you. So
him and Harmon. Ain't Creston know about Harmon.
Oh, man.
Why'd you have to go there?
Harmon is another story, and
Man,
that's
Harmon got his comeuppance. I'm not.
That also happened. But it's not technology related, so let's not bring it up. But Harmon is another story.
But yeah, like the compensation is not where it should be. So I'm pretty sure Dr. Allen doesn't want to have 2-3 jobs if he doesn't have to. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of disrespectful the kind of pay they're getting.
Yeah, so you just.
I agree.
But Suave, you were saying that what company was this where the person was sabotaging?
I don't think they said. I was trying to find the tweet. But
that is hilarious.
That tweet gone.
That is hilarious. And also a little scary because you're like, we all got that person that we know doesn't like us. And you're like,
bruh.
Oh, 100%.
If they could, they would. I know they would if they could.
Absolutely.
So no, don't give them any ideas.
Okay. Like they probably don't need any. I was also reading about some other unfortunate help desk. I think it was Swift on Security that was like, they don't need to steal your passwords. Like they can dump your browser session and they don't need to log in again. And I was like, what the what are we talking about?
Look,
that's just petty.
I had no idea. I was like, okay,
all of the malicious actors out there, why? Like, who hurt y'all? And
no one hurt us.
Let's do
hold on.
This is why
I just want to do a group therapy session with y'all. Let's get it out. Let's figure out.
There's no need for all that.
Let's figure out who did this to y'all. Because it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
We can undo it.
It wasn't me. To the people who hacked my Crunchyroll, I ain't do it. I did not do it.
You're right about that.
Crunchyroll left a vulnerable system, and you left a very vulnerable open account.
Listen.
It's like living in a bad area and just leaving your door open. The internet's a bad area. The internet's a bad area.
The whole place is a bad area.
But it's like it's a bad area.
But the thing is,
y'all just be leaving your windows open, unlocked. You know
no, that's not what's happening.
Happening.
We're not leaving anything unlocked. They're just breaking the window every time we board it up. They just keep breaking it because it's easy to break the window.
It's the people you trust with your information that leave the window. But I'm not like saying I'm excluded from that. I still use Gmail, even though I know for a fact Gmail has multiple glaring vulnerabilities that allow direct access into my accounts. I still frequent multiple different bank services that I've known who have had breaches in the past months, not just years, but months. And I don't know.
They got you.
It all sucks. The internet itself is just a dangerous place.
But you can't exist without it.
But you can't exist without it, exactly. And so
it's not the same as you trusting these people and saying, "Oh, we're just trusting." No, we have no choice. It's like living in a bad country is what it is. Like you're living in a country where the laws are keeping up with the people who are breaking. Like they're breaking laws that don't even exist yet.
You live in North Korea, is what you're saying.
Well,
but there's no economy and there's no hope of success.
Clapped. That's funny.
I was wondering where that came from.
Bruh. You know,
And
perhaps we
it's all
should
just sad.
continue.
It's tech. Of course, it was tech.
Wow.
Yo, get this man some
And
help.
unfortunately, I'll let him in bad neighborhood.
But yeah, so I don't know. Apple and Apple. Apple and
But
Epic.
also, if you don't hack them,
Picking the
then they
Apple.
don't improve them.
Don't-
If you don't
don't
hit their
say
bottom
Apple.
line, they will
Don't
not
say
improve.
Apple. Tim,
And listen,
Timmy.
the lawsuit is
Timmy.
Apple Tim himself.
Timmy
It's Tim
went
versus
in
Tim.
here. There you
So
go.
it's a battle of Tims, Tim Apple and Tim
Tim
Sweeney.
Yep.
It's a battle of apples. A battle of Tims.
Battle Tim's good
Battle
apple
Tim's
versus
for sure.
bad apple. Is that what
Oh,
it is?
no.
That's what it is.
We done.
Wow.
So they got their account back. They're working on apparently
Bridge of the
an
River
Epic Game
Thames.
Store on iOS. I don't know how that's gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm sure.
That's what they stated on Epic's site.
I support it.
But they're doing it in Europe.
It's
Not-
only
Oh,
just
yeah,
to
yeah.
get
Of course they're
Fortnite back
doing
on
it.
there.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said too.
No, I mean that's money right there. Mobile gaming.
Fortnite
on
can't be
iPhone.
stopped. That train
This-
must go on.
This new update is like what?
Yo,
Put a picture.
yeah, so I saw like a clip of that. It was people throwing lightning bolts at each other and shit.
What?
Fucking
They
A,
done
man.
took AJ's
I don't even
game
know
and
what that
brought it
fucking
to
game
Fortnite.
is even anymore.
I was like, yo, I
I
drop in
genuinely
there and be
don't.
like, what the hell?
They got
Like,
racing
I
from
don't
Rocket
know what that
League.
game is anymore.
I was trying to play that racing game. I ain't gonna lie, and then I realized I had to download Fortnite, and I gave up.
Get the game, man. Right? That's
But
wild.
if the game was
Games inside of
separate
games.
from Fortnite, I would be playing that game right now. That racing game
Yeah.
was cool. I was like, this
It
is
was
as close
fun.
to like Speed Racer as I think I'm gonna get.
That's
And I was
Super
like,
fun.
that's what I've been looking for racing games because I'm not
Even
good
more
at
fun
them.
than Mario Kart.
I mean, Mario Kart's, it's Mario Kart, so but
Yeah.
we're going back to Nintendo where like it's fun, but the as good as it could be, it'll never be because they're not going to change
Exactly.
enough or add anything to it.
Nah.
Like they haven't added a single new weapon to the weapons you can use. They haven't done really. They add new maps, but how easy is that? And then they try.
You mean they haven't
Yeah,
added new
most of them.
weapons to the current Mario Kart?
Yeah, the Mario Kart
Yeah.
8.
Yeah,
They
that
had
is
a
true.
bunch
They
of
only
tracks and
added
stuff.
maps.
Yeah, they have maps. You get new maps, but they don't. They will
They
not.
stick to the main.
Because that probably takes a lot.
A lot of balancing.
programming
Yeah, a
and
lot
stuff
of
like
balancing.
that. Mhm.
I mean, you can easily. Yeah, that's the main thing that takes so long for games like that. You just gotta like. It's not about like adding it. Like you can add it easily. You can do it in a weekend, but the balancing is what takes so
It's a
much
big
time.
trouble.
Yeah. Because you don't want people. Unless you could do it in a way where you can kind of make it like a sandbox environment and just kind of let people know like shit's gonna be unbalanced. So we're collecting data, blah 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 blah. It's kind of like a beta. You could do like a beta playlist and people can kind of come in and try new weapons and shit like that.
Right.
But that's not Nintendo. They
No, they're not
want to
going to do it.
release. They want to release it when it's complete, polished, and ready
Unlike
to go.
some companies,
Yeah, but it's so easy to polish it when you're like making sure that like it's like the bare minimum. Like all they're really doing is putting Mario characters in it. Like that's all. That's the only thing that you're really buying. Like I would play a Mario Kart type game that was more, that had more variation to it than that if it existed. But people pretty much just don't compete with Mario Kart.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's been better Mario Karts. Like, the Sonic All Star Transformed is way better than Mario Kart.
Yeah,
way better. But nobody knows about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it because I would have been playing it.
There's not a lot of
Crash Team Racing is pretty good too.
You said Crash Team Racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty fun. I remember that
I
from
wouldn't say it's
PlayStation.
better than Mario Kart, but it's a good alternative.
Like even Diddy Kong was like better in my opinion.
You see all of the Smash Bros. Clones coming out.
Yeah.
So I would.
Multiverse is coming back.
Multiverse is coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope for the the All Star. I mean, for the
PlayStation All Stars. Yeah,
that's what you would hope for. I don't know. I was like literally
That
funny
game-
as stuff
if
because I
that game
remember.
was
Like,
If they came back with PlayStation All Stars, I would definitely be playing that. a lot.
Sony is unlike Nintendo. Sony never looks back. They're not going back to PlayStation.
unfortunately, yeah.
They never.
I mean,
look
maybe
They
back.
kind of
never know.
look down on their back catalog.
That is true.
That's terrible.
stupid.
I'm like, dog, like you got so we
Yeah,
want to
that's
give
right.
you money.
Yeah.
You never know. They may
That's
be. It may be like another Helldivers too. Like that just came out from left field. They were like, "Oh, well, we'll release it. See what happens."
Yeah, they didn't even push it. Honestly, they thought it was a small bet on their side, and it paid
Sure
off.
was. Yep. And they used the old engine for that one.
It's yeah, it's like an unsupported engine right now, right?
Mhm.
Like they're the only ones that are using it.
Mm-hmm. So developers had to go back and like learn shit from scratch and shit like that. And I was like, "Oof, okay, well,
Wild.
no wonder why they're having trouble with so much shit."
Oh yes,
Yeah.
discontinued. Autodesk Stingray. I don't even know what this is.
Oh, it's part of Autodesk Suite.
Let's see. Yeah.
I didn't know this Fisker thing was happening.
What's
Yeah.
this
You didn't
name?
read that shit.
Interesting.
So
Fisker?
Up ahead of the
we'll put a pin
topics.
in the, I'm saying. So it's all right. We'll put a pin in Helldivers 2 in their engine. 'Cause that's not on the thing anyway. But yeah, so Fisker. Well, a lot of companies were having their earnings calls. And Fisker had theirs, and MKBHD had
Fisker is that
The car
that
company,
the-
right?
The car company, yeah.
Oh, I
Electric
thought
car
it
they
was
make electric cars.
I thought it was like an office. Am I tripping?
Nah, there's another. There's a
There's
Fisker
another
that
Fisker,
makes
right?
like knives and axes and shit, and then there's like another Fisker that makes maybe
Like
office
staples and
supplies.
stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if they're the
Yeah.
same or started this, but yes, there's a couple of different ones.
Okay.
So, but this one is the one that makes electric cars, and they're supposed to be premiering their first one soon. But I want to say it was
No,
like,
it's out already.
it's out. It's in
The
people's hands.
Fisker
It's not
Ocean
in.
is out. It's just having a hard time
Getting
selling them to actual people,
yeah.
Yeah. So
and the reviews have been less
Not
than
great.
amazing.
not great. Not
Watching the
stellar.
video of the guy, I guess like the first video you have there, and we'll drop a link here in a second in chat. It's so fascinating that these senior leadership is so out of the I guess the media stream as a whole. They have no idea who MKHD MKBHD is. That's just mind boggling to me.
I
Like
mean,
you're
that's a
listening to this
senior
video.
engineer.
No, that was leadership.
No, the guy who was talking, he said he was this lead senior engineer.
No. He said he could get a lead senior. He could get someone senior in there, but the guy who was talking was definitely leadership. At least if you listen to the end of the video, that's what the guy, I guess Ray Tech is his name.
Or maybe it's two.
That's what he
people.
meant.
I know the first guy he was talking to, he said he was a lead senior engineer and he was going to come out and update the car himself. That's what he said.
No, not him. He was going to have someone from field services come update him.
I don't know. Okay.
Are we talking about the MKBHD video?
We're talking about the guy who MKBHD got the car from.
Yeah. So
he
the
asked this guy
background
to get his
was that like he so he was going to review the car. He borrowed it from someone who owns it, but also someone who sells them, I think, and to do the review. And like the guy gets this, I guess you haven't watched it yet, but he gets this ridiculous call from, it's like 6-7 minutes long, of these people from Fisker, like, I don't know who this kid is. Like, can you give me his information? Like, it was bizarre.
So we could talk to him, so we can come out there and update the car and
right.
Stuff,
and so the dude is
that.
like, well, I can't really give you that. The car, I didn't sell him the car. It's my car. You know, I can tell you whatever you need to know about the car, whatever. And
I
like,
saw
but
the
dude is
autofocus
insisting.
video. I didn't see that, but I did watch the autofocus video from MKBHD.
So they're trying to do some damage control.
I don't know what they were trying to do.
Essentially.
Absolutely.
Damage control.
They're trying to pay him off. Is probably what they're.
That was pretty much.
Can you give me his routing number?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you give me the person he banks with? Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me
Already
get that
said
Swiss
they
bank
were-
Do
account
you know
on
if
me
he
real
likes
quick.
Bitcoin? Can I send him a few coins over? You know,
Yeah, you
search
got a wallet
Oh, they
address
want-
or anything?
You got a wallet address?
Hold on, real
They're
quick.
more than on the verge.
Yeah,
Oh,
Maurice was
yeah,
saying they're
Maurice
on the
said-
verge of bankruptcy already.
They're more than on the verge. They hired a bankruptcy specialist firm. So
Isn't
they're
that fascinating? We have firms that specialize in bankruptcy. Something
I
that
know, that's
it's
crazy.
supposed to be
Right.
like
Yeah.
the worst financial thing you could ever do is a bankruptcy, right? And like that's it, you're
Like
dead.
a-
Like, you're dead in the water. You're spoiled
Well-
trash. There's a whole firm that specialize in helping businesses get the most money possible out of their bankruptcy. Fucking wild.
well,
to me.
they could also, part of what they do is to also try to avoid bankruptcy by
Yeah, no, Raymond.
restructuring the business to maybe get acquired. But like Fisker did the
You guys
what
fucked
they
up. Let's
call
see if we can sell
the
your
IP
parts.
light. They went the
Fisker.
IP light route. So now if you try to sell yourself, what are you going to sell them? They don't make their own cars, right? They use Magna, a tier one supplier, to build their cars. So they don't have their own factories. The only thing that they have that is theirs is design. They've outsourced absolutely everything
No wonder the cars
outside
are
of
shit.
design. So like, why would a car company want to buy you? You have no IP. You have no
No,
advanced battery technology, no motor design, no advanced manufacturing. You have nothing to offer. So, like, yeah, they drew stuff on paper and they had Magna build it, essentially. And
Ooh.
it's not great. So
Nah, it's
they're
not.
going to go bankrupt. Like, there's no, I don't see them surviving at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was
It
Marquez in
absolutely does cost
particular,
money.
but their cost money to build up production factories. Yeah, it does.
Absolutely does.
Stock, absolutely.
But because they
And-
didn't build that, they have no assets. There's no assets in the company. So you
what the
can't
fuck
be
are they
like,
gonna do?
you can't go to the bank and be like, okay, well, we'll mortgage this factory or we'll sell our factory, get a couple billies here, give us a line of credit. This is our plan to make it through. You can't go to a financial institution and say that because you have nothing. So that route is good to ramp up quickly, but now when you're in a tight spot, you have no backstop. Like, they're just gonna go bankrupt unless there's a company desperate and really love their designs. I'm like, okay, let's take that, which happened before. So Fisker was a car company, I think back in like 08, 2010-ish time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going bankrupt again, and they sold it to a Chinese company, and that company became Karma. So there was a Fisker Karma, and then when it was sold to the Chinese company, it became the Karma Rivero. It's pretty much the same car, different badging. So maybe he's hoping he could pull that move off again and have Fisker go bankrupt for a second time and sell it to some other company. But I don't see it. Like, it's a worthless company right now. The cars look nice. I drove past one. I'm like, oh, it's an attractive car.
Yeah.
But so was the Fisker Karma, and it had similarly bad reviews because it was designed by Heinrich Fisker is a designer,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't know how to build usable
What's his
things.
first name?
Heinrich, he's a
Oh,
European
man,
of some
that's-
kind. Yeah, it does sound a little Nazi, but it'd be like that. But beautiful, but not usable. So he's a designer,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know anything. He's not an engineer. He doesn't know anything about usability, but it's all about the aesthetic. So it's a similar issue with the old Fisker company.
Mm.
Same type of thing. Like, none of this makes sense as a car, but it looks good.
Maurice said both Lucid and Rivian are struggling.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So what's going on with like because I've been seeing a lot of Doom talk about like there's not a whole lot of EV buying right now. What do you all think that's attributed to?
First of all, I think that's overstated.
Is it more so like the dealers way bought way too much inventory that
No,
the demand wasn't there, or
the demand. I think the demand is absolutely positively there and more.
mm-hmm.
What I think is going on is twofold. Like there's the economic stuff. So inflation is still a thing. Not the inflation the car companies talk about, but the real inflation and interest rates going up. And the ones that tried to pivot to EVs, they're finding that investors are not okay with them losing tens of billions of dollars for the next 5 years. So Ford, they were losing, I want to say about $5 billion a year trying to transition to EVs. They found there wasn't much appetite for that in the investor world because they were going to have to raise capital to really go dive deeper still. They had the Mach-E, they had the F-150 Lightning, but to bring more cars, you need more factories. You need to invest more in battery development. So they need to pour more money in. And there was no appetite from Wall Street to bankroll that. So they're like, okay, let's walk this back. And they're not lowering the prices. So they're too expensive. So the cars are too expensive. And now, average car loan is what, maybe 6-7% APR when it was like 2-3% a couple of years ago, which is a meaningful difference in your monthly payment. So to me, that's the real story.
Okay.
If you hit the price point, so if a Chevy Bolt, right? If that was still available, it would be selling like crazy right now. And it was selling. But they stopped making it because they were losing a ton of money on it.
They bolted out of that market.
Wow. Wow.
And welcome back, nigga.
But I think EV demand is tremendous. So it's not like it went down. It's just the rate of growth slowed. So people are making it seem like the demand is cratering. It's not. It's still going up. It's just slowing down how quickly it's going up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a compelling EV at say $25,000, you couldn't make enough of them, which I think will happen in a few years when the Chinese gets in, because the Chinese are trying to build factories in Mexico, and they'll get into
$25,000 EV. I would definitely pick that up.
It's a freaking no-brainer, and I'm not saying the Chinese are great,
but they're all gonna
but
turn on us.
if a freaking BYD is sold in America, I'm copping that.
What's the BYD?
That's
bring your dinner.
Build your dreams. Build your dreams.
Build your device.
But yeah, they're the biggest Chinese player.
Yeah, exactly.
They have some plug-in hybrids too, but they sell a lot of EVs. If they have an EV available in America, without doubt, I would cop that. 25, and
these EVs
they have
nice.
EVs for $11,000. That's what I'm saying. Like they're not garbage at all. So they're probably gonna build a factory in Mexico, use the DMCA to sell it without tariffs in America, and good luck to all the other
cars. This interior is nice.
That's what I'm telling you. I want one of those BYDs. I want to add 03 personally. I would do that for my daily. It's on point. So they need to figure that out because the Chinese will come here eventually, and we'll see how non-existent this EV demand is. I promise you it's not. People will be buying that like crazy.
So as with everything, our fucking problem is infrastructure and economy.
Mm-hmm. Wow. They're doing a lot to address the charging infrastructure. So Ford has access to Tesla superchargers now.
He is supposed to be doing it.
Rivian, I think, is about to get access soon. So the
The
infrastructure
Rivian
stuff
SUV
is
is the
working
only
out.
reasonable, like, I need another EV SUV in the market. My personally, right? You know, me with my bajillion children and, you know, family. I want to switch to an EV, but there's no
But you're trying to do
There's
an
no
R1S,
easy
right?
way.
say
R1S
again.
isn't cheap. You have 3 kids, right?
Yep,
So then you'd have to go R1S. You probably need a third one.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not cheap. I think that
that's
starts at
not
like
cheap at all.
74, right? 74,
Yep,
75. That's what I'm saying.
80K is
So,
what I was looking at.
and Kia EV9, that starts at like 50, but the one for 50 nobody wants. The one that you do want is 70 plus grand.
Yep.
Mario said
The R12 is nice, but
R1
it's not a 3-row. It's a 2-row.
Yep.
So if you have 3 kids, that's going to be a little snug, especially when you have car seats. Don't ask me how I know. You want to go 3-row.
You have to go
So,
3-row.
so who's going to give you a cheap 3-row?
No.
Probably BYD when they get here. Come on, BYD. Can't wait till they get here. I can't
Maurice
wait.
said
this is dope.
they're not
They
going to
won't
be
be allowed.
allowed because
They
they're
can't-
subsidized by the Chinese government, and
Okay.
being able to sell cars for that price, like cars this quality for that price, would
if they
like
bring them
kill
there,
everybody.
the taxes that they're gonna have to pay.
I want to see how they're going to stop it, because if they're in Mexico and they're following all the rules of the DMCA, they'd have to come up with new rules to block it, which not saying they wouldn't do. But
They
if they
absolutely
did
would.
that, almost every major car company makes most of their money in China. What do you think China would do if they try to stop BYD and Li Auto and all these others from coming in?
Mm.
It would be a bloodbath. It would be a bloodbath. Like, oh, that's how you want to play it? Okay. 10%
So
additional
would they
tariff
treat it
on all
like
these.
the whole Huawei situation?
Yeah. That's
They
good.
can't
That's what
really
I was
flex,
thinking about.
but they can't really flex their muscles with Huawei like that, because they don't have the industry buttoned up from a telecom perspective. They got the whole thing buttoned up from an EV perspective.
No, I think he was saying, like, do you think that our government is
our
going to treat their
Yeah,
cars like Huawei, like we
like
treat Huawei stuff, where it's like we
ban
don't
them.
trust it?
They want to. The difference is that's easy, right? That's a straight import. They could block the import, and they could smack the whole national security thing. That's easy, like boom. But car company, it's not telecommunications. They're following all the rules. It's built in Mexico. We have a trade agreement with Mexico already. Final assembly is happening there. What legal reason would you have to block them?
Chinese
You would have
government,
none. But that's not a legal reason. It's an
Maurice
emotional
says
reason.
it
a
can't
political.
solely be built in Mexico. I think he said some of the components or the parts have to be built in North America in order for.
Mexico is North
That's not the
America.
case. No, it's anybody that has a free trade. It's in America or a free trade agreement with America. So Canada, soon, not yet, soon. South Korea will be a part of that. They're not a
Really?
part of
What
it
are you
yet.
doing, Tech? Heck, I'm
Get
sure.
your life together.
What's he doing?
But
The balloons just came out. We're just going up in Carl's
The
screen.
screen.
so yeah, so people are building battery plants and refinery plants in Canada. They're only doing that because you're going to be able to
NAFTA.
get the IRA credits with that. Inflation Reduction Act credits with that.
What the
This
hell
man
is going on?
needs to be.
Tech, what are you doing?
Random shit.
You need to record your own sounds for next
Yeah,
time.
so Mexico and Canada is a
I
NAFTA
do need to do
country.
that.
So like I want this to happen. Everybody should want this to happen, because if it does, like Rivians would have to come down by at least 15 grand minimum. Everything becomes cheaper. Even gas cars would become cheaper because they would be able to sell EVs so cheap it would undercut gas cars. So there's no consumer should be against this.
Mari said it would kill the U.S. auto market.
Hey,
I'm okay
and
with
I
it.
say
Make it
maybe
cheaper.
absolutely.
Make it
Look at
cheaper.
this.
Get it together.
Paid like 13 $13,000.
I wouldn't mind
What
driving these cars.
What is this nigga
are you
doing?
doing, bro?
Nigga. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Always the light skinned niggas that want to.
Hey, don't lump me into that.
Don't damn. You getting left
Ain't no
out in the cold
crickets.
by your
Niggas laughing.
fellow light skin.
yeah, man. Y'all need to have a quick light skin meeting and figure out what's going on with Chad.
Facts.
Lightning talk.
You said
All right.
a lightning target. Lightning.
Wow.
Lightning.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Oh my god.
I wish you would stop. So $13,000 over.
Oh yeah. Over what I should have paid for my car because I bought it in 2021, and everything was like ridiculous. I mean, it's still ridiculous for no reason.
I don't mean to lighten the mood, fellas.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm disappointed.
So,
Don't clap for yourself. God damn it.
Did you finance that, Suave, if you don't mind me asking? So, yeah, because if you finance that now, unless you had a very strong down payment, that thing's probably super underwater.
Oh my. Super underwater. Not super. It's a decent car, but I still paid way more than I wanted. But like every place I talked to was like, "Oh yeah, you see that price? We actually add 5,000 on top of that because we can. So fuck you." And I was like, "All right, well, that's how everybody feeling, I guess." And then
which is why if people can afford a Tesla or a Rivian or even a Lucid, it's so much better because you never have to deal with that crap. The price is the price.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Tesla lowers the price and screws you that way. Details.
Exactly.
But it's less likely to happen than.
It's like that Dave Chappelle sketch where they find out he made the money. He goes to the barbershop. That was the old price. He tries to get his haircut. It's at $8 when he went in, but when they playing the on the TV, it's playing the news thing where it's like Dave Chappelle just made $50 million, and it's like an $8,000 haircut now.
Absolutely.
That's the old price. Swall walked in there with the old price.
Facts. And they did not want to hear it. I tell you what. And I mean, it was
Man, about to
terrible experience.
I'm about to start getting the catalytic converter selling game.
Are you?
Yet another thing you wouldn't have to worry
new
about with an EV.
facts? That really caught my eye, but it was like for the Tesla was another like 20,000. I'm like, this is a Model 3, not a Model S, not a Model Y. Like a Model 3 was like 20,000 more than my car, and I was like, I can't. I would love to have an EV. I know it's better for whatever, but hey, listen,
a Model 3 right now is super depreciated. So
I bet
if you were in the market, you could get like a 2021 Model 3 for like 25 racks right now.
that's ridiculous. Oh my gosh,
Are you fucking serious?
Still mad.
Yeah, they're super depreciated, especially
That's
since
nuts.
Hertz sold like 20,000 of them.
Oh, I bet they did.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them under 30 grand. Ton of them. Now, to be fair, it's going to be hard to find a long range version at that price. You might still find it, but you'll find a bunch of standard range Model 3s.
Nowhere.
I just need a commuter car.
Yeah,
exactly. It's perfect for that.
Around the city.
It's perfect for that.
Go nowhere.
And all the
Bloody fucking hell,
depreciation,
Carl, you are not wrong.
the depreciation's out of it. So like you're good to go with that.
Keep a gas guzzler for the long distance drive.
Yep.
And then drive around town on it. The only thing is you have to go in and start that gas guzzler up every weekend because you're gonna forget that battery gonna die. The wheels gonna ride.
2 car seats in this. I could fit 2 car seats in this and take those little little humans.
You definitely can fit 2 car seats in a Model 3.
It's okay.
Absolutely. Look,
by the time they're old enough to watch this tech, that won't even sting, you know?
A 20.
I think that sounds like a double burn though. Aren't you burning yourself if your children are bastards?
I didn't say they were, AJ.
Because you're the father. Like,
you're not wrong.
You didn't finish saying they were. It's more accurate.
I didn't say they were to begin with, AJ.
I fit a car seat and 2.
I would never say that, babies. I hope you guys attend.
In a Hyundai Accent. I know you could fit.
This man.
Not comfortable.
Yo.
No, of course not. I hate my life. But fortunately, we got another vehicle. But I was doing that for a stretch. So if I could do that in an Accent, absolutely, you could do 2 car seats in a Model 3.
And I don't know if you've ever been in the back of an Accent, but it's hard to get out.
It's not great. It's hard to get out of any seat in an Accent. You wear an Accent. You don't get into it. You wear it.
Damn.
I don't even know what an Accent looks like.
Small.
Is it a 2-door?
No.
It's a 4-door. It's like
the length of a 2-door.
You take a coupe, blow it, put a straw in there and blow it up like a bubble, especially the older ones.
You said blow it up like a bubble.
So it has like a more bubbly shape, and then add 2 doors in the back of that 2-door that you bought. That's an Accent. Or divide the door into 2 doors. I'm sorry, not add 2 doors because there's no adding. It's the size of the 2 door.
There's no room.
Yeah, you just divide the single door into another door on both sides.
If I wasn't almost done with my Accent, I would just get a depreciated Model 3 right now. Like because I'll be done with it in probably a year-ish, maybe less. Maybe even sooner, depending on bonus. But if I was had even 2 years left, I probably would just get a Model 3 because I don't think there's much more depreciation coming out of the Model 3, and I never have to do any maintenance. And now that we have the second vehicle, I'm still not going to put that much mileage on it. So to me, that would have been a no-brainer. But
hey, man, this is kind of off topic, but I need to come down there and ride that bright line.
Hey, man, that's what I was telling Carl.
It's connecting to Orlando now, so you go from Orlando all the way to Miami.
Yeah, I was telling Carl we might come visit.
Just a Model 3?
Go ahead and do it. Suave. Oh, Suave Tech.
Cash out some of that Bitcoin. Get you a Model 3.
Right. Yeah.
Bitcoin going up?
Yes, it is.
It's going up. It's going up.
If you had
$3 worth of Bitcoin,
you're sitting on a nice $6 worth of Bitcoin right now. That's how up it's going.
$3. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, as far as Fisker,
it's done.
Marquez was
That's where we originally started this conversation at.
You couldn't pay me to drive this thing, and I was like, well,
wow. So in the I didn't watch the autofocus.
That's because they couldn't get a hold of him.
Did he drive it in the autofocus?
He drove it.
Yeah,
he drove it.
So somebody paid him to drive it, is what I'm saying.
No, he didn't pay him to keep it. He said he would never keep this. Yeah. Like he did a proper review. He didn't just trash it.
Yeah.
So he drove it for like a week, 2 weeks, whatever it was. But he hated it because it wasn't functional, which has always been the case with Heinrich. He's always like that.
Heinrich Himmler.
Well,
I walked away. I grabbed a little cereal when we were talking about Heinrich, and all I heard was Carl go, "Yeah, it's a bit Nazi."
I was thinking Heinrich Hohenheim from Full Metal Alchemist.
Exactly.
Himmler.
He's like, it's a bit Nazi. I was like, oh, just okay.
I'm sure he
So-
loved Jewish people.
Oh yeah.
I'm
totally.
sure he did too.
He loves their money.
Anyway,
Oh my
exactly.
All right, change the subject quick.
So
Move on,
last-
Sam.
Absolutely. So last
Really,
week,
nigga?
was it no, like almost 2 weeks ago now,
Uh,
we learned that Toriyama Akira passed, who was the author of Dragon Ball, and I mean, I
Dragon
think
Quest.
yeah, well, a whole bunch of
Ball
stuff. Dragon
Z.
Ball is probably the one most people are.
The
Dragon
man
Ball
of
Z.
dragons.
Absolutely, nigga loves some dragons.
Yeah, he did make a lot of dragon content.
Probably the most influential like mangaka of, I mean, he wasn't part of our generation, but of the generation of people that we are, he's probably
No.
the most influential one.
He,
that
he was
to-
we
part
were
of. He was
exposed
part of
to.
some of our generation,
Right.
Oh,
wow.
not part of
Wow.
other people's
Listen.
generation.
oh no.
AJ, you got to let that ride. How dare you? Yeah, he wasn't part of our generation. Quite right, Suave. How dare you?
What I'm saying is, Dragon Ball came out what in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
86, 85.
Yeah, that's
Something like
some
that.
of our generation. There's some 80s
He was
niggas
already
in
an
here.
adult, is what I'm saying. He was 30. Some of
Okay.
us were
He
kids
was
or not born.
Okay, gotcha. I was just talking about Dragon Ball. I was like, I think, because I think that was like the first
Old heads
anime
sticking to old
that I had
heads.
ever seen in America. Like Dragon Ball was like the first anime I think I ever seen.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh,
My
Yeah.
my uncle was deployed in Japan
Yeah,
for a while,
same
and so he brought the DVDs over, and they weren't translated, and so it was just like straight like Japanese, but not DVDs, VHS tape. It was it was VHS.
Yep, that's her.
And I used to
Weird.
burn a freaking hole into that tape, just watching it over and over again, just nonstop. I loved it just so much. I didn't understand a damn thing it was saying.
Had the
I
DVD.
loved it.
It's just like Dragon Ball for me was just like it was the ultimate power fantasy of like these motherfuckers are
Mhm.
so powerful. They're punching motherfuckers through
Rocks,
like
shit.
the center of a planet, you know.
Right.
And that's like and they could summon the power of like stars in a finger and send it to people and disintegrate them. It's like this shit is fucking tight. And I
I'm
remember
still
like
not
it
the
was right
only
around that
one.
time. It was right around that time where you know, I was still playing like action figures and stuff. So it was like every fight that I was like recreating was a Dragon Ball Z fight of some
Yep.
sort. Like I was playing with like I remember I had a Superman action figure, and he was always like, you know, either like a Goku like character or something. Then I had a Brainiac character.
Mm.
And then had, you know, and so it's just kind of like it always just played out as like some form of a Dragon Ball Z fight,
Yeah,
and it was just always fucking epic.
exactly. They probably are the reason there's so much like epic battles in anime, of course, and then even in like
Absolutely.
and even in like Hollywood cinema.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, look at Matrix 3. That was a Dragon Ball Z fight
That
at the
was
end.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z fight.
That was like the
I mean,
best
Last
part of that
of Us-
movie. That movie was ass.
A lot of stuff has been inspired by some type of anime fight.
You said The Last of Us?
No, I said lots of stuff now and back then have been inspired by anime fights, and you see
Oh,
it
yeah.
more prominent, more and more. Like you see Akira
Absolutely.
with that motorcycle slide.
Yeah, you see that everywhere now.
You see that everywhere. You see now, since everybody's in the anime or has watched anime growing up, you see it more and more type
Well,
of fights. And
the kids that were
Movie
like the kids that are like our age are in those industries and are making that content now.
Yeah.
right,
That's their reference.
right. So it's like
Mm.
Michael B. Jordan with Creed,
3 was
Creed 3.
it was anime inspired, the fights.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you have stuff in Marvel movies now, and even though they can do their own thing, but you still have like some type of some hint of an anime fight in it.
The combat is in my opinion strictly anime and martial arts inspired in almost everything.
Yeah.
And if it has superpowers in it, then anime starts to creep into the martial arts because you want it to be bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you just watch anime now, like the I don't know if Dragon Ball was the first to do this, but like the flash step kind of technique that almost every anime has, where the character moves so fast that no one can see it. That first time I ever saw that was Dragon
I
Ball.
was like,
That was Dragon Ball. That was Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Yep.
Dragon Ball.
Somebody moving.
That was
like,
Dragon Ball when Goku was going against what's his face, and he like blinked behind him.
And Mr. Popo been moving like that from the jump because you know that.
Facts.
Mr. Popo.
Mr. Popo, the most racist character. Akira wasn't perfect, guys. We loved him.
He was the most
He was
racist.
blood.
He wasn't the most racist. It was the other black dude who.
Yes, the R and R guy.
Yeah. The red.
Popo was more racist. Popo was literally a mammy.
Popo was literally a black. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them blackface jars brought to life.
They never said what he was.
No, we let Toriyama have
He's
it.
blackface.
We let him have
they never
that.
They never said like what. They never said what species he was or anything.
Blackface species.
He also made Piccolo black.
He was influenced by those cartoons, and unfortunately, I don't think he didn't understand the cultural.
No, he had no idea
issues with those cartoons, but. So that's why all black characters had the tire lips, right? Which is why all black people just decided Piccolo was black.
Piccolo's black.
Piccolo's been black. Like
Piccolo been black since the jump.
No, they just said all the Namekians were.
Yeah, we pretty much adopted that entire race into the they're part of the diaspora as far as we're concerned.
Right.
As far as we're concerned,
Piccolo's
showing up at the family get together.
What I'm asking is, was Popo? Did they ever?
No, they never explained what Popo was. He just be existing. But the thing is, Popo is so fast that like he's even faster than Super Saiyan Trunks and Goku.
Right. He was
out there training with the Super Saiyans, but he just don't care about nothing.
He's one of the fastest in the universe before he died.
Yeah, he's probably still one of the fastest in the universe. I don't think he died yet.
Yeah, they say they killed him in.
What did he die of? Liver cancer?
Oh, come on now.
See.
Liver cancer.
Too much liquor.
Too much.
Wow.
Too much liquor.
The menthol cigarettes.
Didn't he die in
Popo ain't die.
I thought he died in what's that saga?
Garlic Jr.?
Garlic Jr.
No, Garlic Jr. First of all, is Garlic Jr. even real? That's
no, that's not real canon.
Yeah.
Well, you never see him again after Dragon Ball Z.
That is true, but because Popo was more of like
or did he die in Cell Saga or Buu Saga?
He definitely didn't die in Cell Saga. The only way he could have died in Buu Saga is if he died with everybody else died on the planet in Buu Saga, and they all came back. So
that's true. Unless that was his last time that he could come back. I don't know. Either way,
they broke the rules for all of them, so
yeah,
they all got to come back.
Yeah, he's still alive. According to Dragon Ball Wiki, he's killed when the planet explodes, but Whis used his temporal do-over technique to undo the damage, burning Mr. Popo's death in the process. Okay. So everybody died in that fight against Frieza, where Goku was playing around when he should have, Goku not finishing his food over there, letting Frieza blow stuff up. And that's the other thing.
He kind of disappeared.
Planets were just kind of like
yeah, they were just like they're like buildings. They're we'll just destroy a planet.
Never had I seen anything where people are just like, fuck the planet. Like just boom. Like just destroyed.
Frieza's base mode could take out any planet. That's the crazy part.
I know
his
that
base
is
mode. Like
any planet.
The small. I'm sitting in a hover chair and flicking a finger.
It's
just
planet is just gone.
Any planet.
That's why I was like, how are they gonna beat this dude? I was like, how the fuck is this dude?
I was on the edge of my seat.
I don't know how he's gonna get beaten. Like this dude's destroying planets with a finger.
With the finger.
And he talks so much shit, like hovering in that little thing, and then
Just-
and
That's
if
why he was
anybody
so
that
scared.
tested him, he just fucking
That's why he's so
blinked at
scared
him. He
against
was
the
gone.
Saiyans. That's why he's
I
so
was
scared
like,
against the Saiyans
yo.
because they had the potential to beat him.
Yeah, and he was right. He was very right. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that Bardock had watched Superman and realized he needed to shoot his son off to a planet.
His two sons.
Well, he didn't say Raditz, right? And he didn't love Raditz. Come on, let's be serious.
Raditz is the
He neither saved nor
Oh
loved.
no, wait, I'm
Redheaded
sorry.
stepchild.
What's the name was the cousin?
Who?
Vegeta?
No,
What are you talking about?
Broly.
No, Broly wasn't
Broly.
cousin. Broly was Broly's father hated Bardock. And that's why
So they were just
Yep.
okay.
and
they were
that's why
enemies.
Bardock and that's why Broly hated Goku, because Goku looks just like Bardock. So it's like,
just like Bardock.
Broly hated Goku.
No, like wasn't he made? Didn't Goku as a baby make Broly cry?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Goku
yeah.
cried too
No,
much. That's the
Goku
old.
cried too
That's
much.
the,
and
that's the
Broly-
movie
That's the old
version.
one.
Yeah,
That's the
and
movie. The
Broly
newer
was
version.
mad over it.
Yes, that's the
Mm.
Broly from Dragon Ball Z. We're talking about Broly from Dragon Ball Super is different. His father hated Bardock and basically raised.
He was a hating ass nigga.
He left, or no, he hated Vegeta. His
Yeah.
father hated Prince King Vegeta, and that's why Broly was pissed off at King Vegeta. And Frieza tried to use that to his advantage. He was like, "I can't kill these niggas, but this guy probably can. So I'm gonna go tell him, hey man, that's King Vegeta's son over there. Go f him up."
Right over there. You see that nigga over there with a pointy
Yeah,
hair in
that's
his
what it
face?
was. Right. So
That's your man's day.
in Dragon Ball Z, Broly hated Goku because Goku was always crying and basically was annoying him. And then
Non-Saiyan like behavior.
and then
We also adopted all the Saiyans, right? Like Goku's technically black.
well, I mean, we just know that
No.
we know they're not white, is what we know.
We know they're not white. Yeah.
They're not
okay.
white, right? The crazy hair that is untamable, right? That like
Mhm.
with Saiyan's hair will never change shape. That's just what it is. Whatever your hair is when you're born is your hair.
As your hair.
If you're
They're
like a
just
full blood
Japanese.
Nope, they're not Japanese
No,
either.
they're
They're
not
like
Japanese.
they're like well, I mean, obviously
black, in a way.
they
Like,
look
they're
a lot like Japanese people, but
Yeah.
which is why nobody batted an eyelash when they saw Goku except for the tail. And you're in the Dragon Ball universe, so a tail really isn't that big of a deal. Because literal dinosaur people live and talk and walk and shop right next to you, so there's no way that you're icked off by a tail. But no,
I
it
mean,
was.
Bulma was.
She wasn't. She wasn't. She was just like that's strange.
She was
that it has
shocked.
a tail. Yeah,
She was.
but that
Not enough to
was-
stop her though.
No,
Mm-mm.
I'll still let you hit.
Oh no,
That
Bulma
is-
was just
that
like,
is
I gotta
true.
get me a Saiyan.
Bro.
That was nah.
She did.
Bulma was like, nah. Oh, okay, Chichi, you got Goku. That's cool. Hey, Vegeta, what's up?
and the Yancha trade off was like I was just like they didn't even talk about it. I mean, what
Nah,
could
they didn't
Yancha
talk about
do? What could he do?
No.
Nothing. But
Nothing.
there should
Are
have
you a
been like
Saiyan, Yamcha?
Wolfang fist,
No?
really? Stop. You ain't gonna do nothing.
actually
Go
his
send that hole
other
over there,
move
homie.
his other move is the one that's
that
kinda
triangle
cool.
thing.
No, that's Tien.
No, that's
Yancha had
Tien.
moved. He created like a volleyball, kind of like energy ball, and he instead of it like just destroying you, he
He
used it
did
like a
this.
battering ram. He would like throw it around at you, and it would
Yeah.
smack people up. It was like throwing punches from a distance, so he didn't have to engage in fisticuffs.
Yamcha lost his girl to the dude that killed him. Ain't no.
Yeah. Well, the dude that's underlings killed him. Yancha wasn't cool enough to get killed by Vegeta.
Right.
Facts.
Yancha died before Chaos
Vegeta
2.
joined
my
the
nigga.
squad. Yeah.
That was a Ginyu force, right?
No, he died
Yeah,
from a
that was a Ginyu
Cyberman.
Force.
Oh, that's right. It blew him up.
Yep.
Yeah,
He died to
Yancha
the
beat
green
a
man.
Ginyu Force member. He actually beat a Ginyu
Yep,
Force.
he
Yeah,
did. He
he
did.
But
The
nah.
highlight of his life.
Highlight
my
of his
God.
life.
But
This
that-
man had to roll
That's after
around
he
in the
trained with
squad
King Kai
with
for
his ex
however
and
many
the
times.
person who just yeah.
he
like,
made me so sad because when he was introduced in Dragon Ball, you thought
Oh, you thought Yamcha was
he was a true G.
Like it's just
Human.
This nigga nice.
For a human, he was
like,
pretty
he
good.
is nice. He's about
Krillin
to
is
come over here
also
and
a
give
human.
Goku the work.
For a
Yeah,
human, he's
Krillin is
pretty
also a
good.
human.
No, Krillin is also a human. I would not bet on Yamcha versus Krillin.
Okay, like I said,
I
for a
wouldn't either.
human,
Krillin
for a
will
normal
dominate
human.
Yamcha.
Carl, what's
What are
happening on your screen, bro?
It ain't me. I know that.
Apple just
It's definitely tech. I don't know why it's all like focused at Carl, but yeah, like
Yo.
but the series itself, the Shinron. We ain't even talking about Shinron, right?
Yep.
Shinron, like just wishing, like the whole like. You know, that started the whole thing and like, nigga, what would you wish for if you had all 7 Dragon Balls? Like,
Yeah.
I know every last one of us has had this
every last one of us
conversation
had this conversation
with somebody where it's like, oh man, if I had all 7 Dragon Balls, come on.
Listen, no, just like the training arcs. I know I'm not the only one who was like immediately started doing push-ups and sit-ups like during like the training arcs before a fight.
I did.
Like I would be on my game
because of Dragon Ball Z. I was like,
absolutely.
Goku's in here in 10 times gravity. I can at least work in 1.
I can at least work in 1.
Like, what'd you say, Preston, about McDonald's?
I'm surprised they didn't do something like they do with the Monopoly with like Dragon Ball, like all 7.
That's absolutely.
You get
somebody's done that before. I'm 500. Sure.
Yeah,
sure, like, McDonald's should have.
Like Japanese McDonald's probably did too.
Yeah, they're just now kind of McDonald's is doing something with like Japanese related.
Yeah, it's like
right now. What is it?
Cowboy Bebop. They have the McDonald's, and they have this like savory chili sauce. It's like
That's the anime they choose.
Chili crisp.
That's the anime
you don't get to speak here, Carl. You need power.
Oh, well, he don't like Cowboy Bebop.
He doesn't like Cowboy Bebop just because there's no powers. That's literally.
But it was some ass kicking in there.
It's by far one of the highest rated animes of all time. It's not debatable. Yes, okay.
So, is it also one of the most popular?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
like the Citizen Kane.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant by highest.
Go ahead and put a pen in this. I'm not gonna have Carl slander Cowboy Bebop.
These people are everyone who watches anime. Includes most of the Dragon Ball Z fans.
It's a classic. It's a classic. Okay, real quick.
Even I like Cowboy Bebop.
It sucks. This suit sucks.
I'm the most casual anime.
Oh my gosh! Someone kick this man off the stream before we get banned by the internet permanently.
Suit sucks.
I mean, that's his opinion. So
he doesn't like the lapels on the suit, so now the anime's bad.
So it's all
anime sucks.
You know what? So does anybody have like a favorite Toriyama character, show, or like a manga or anime that you love that Toriyama touched or influenced in some way?
I mean, obviously, right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think you can't have any of the 3 OGs, right? Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach without mentioning like what Toriyama did for those manga writers and artists and so forth. For me it was Dragon Ball, and then it was Naruto, and that was kind of like the boom boom, and Bleach kind of came later actually. So I started like watching that. One Piece I was off and on when it was on, Tsunami, but like absolutely I would say like right away Naruto would be the go-to. So much of that story got a lot of its influence from Toriyama, and absolutely if you haven't had the chance yet, a lot of the manga artists and writers, and I forget the technical name for them in their trade, but a lot of them did beautiful posts written in regards to like Toriyama's like passing. Like you forget like they're badass artists, but they are fantastic writers, and they know how to make some words fucking pull together, and you're just like, this is philosophy. Obviously, I'm a caveman banging with rocks and sticks because I can't put words together as nicely as you, and it annoys me. But it's absolutely beautiful, and it's just but the creative Naruto said some nice things, and I would say that would be my pick. Another side one would be the Kids Next Door episode, Codename Kid Next Door episode, where they went where I think it was either 4 went Super Saiyan. I'm not sure if you guys watched Codename Kids Next Door,
but I don't remember that episode.
I know you were a little. I know it might have been a little bit,
I was
shit
watching
died.
cartoons way past when I should have been watching them.
I
Technically,
think
still
we
watching
all were.
cartoons, so I mean,
No, I
I'm
mean,
still watching.
cartoons, not anime. Like I've been
Exactly.
watching.
Yeah.
I was watching Phineas and Ferb as a full-grown man. Like this is.
hey, hold on. Cartoons can be good shows. Let's not.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Right.
Phineas and Ferb
absolutely.
is legendary.
I
But
forgot how much I like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yo.
my wife
That was
loves
not
that
a
creepy
children's
show.
show. I don't
My
know
wife,
what
it-
people
I
are
had no
doing.
idea why we were allowed to watch that. I tried watching it with my kids once,
Still
and
get
then they
chills.
had nightmares all night
Still-
long. I was like,
Why
oh
would
my
you
god,
do
this is gonna
that
be
to
such a cool
yourself?
thing. Like, I used to watch this when I was a kid. Like I shared so many cartoons with them from Dragon Ball, so forth. I
Yeah.
was like, we watched Courage. My son would not stay in his bed for a whole week. I was just like,
Which
God,
one did
it
y'all watch?
certain episodes, your boy still got chills. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Return the
man. I
Slab?
love it.
Nah, I'm never.
Return the
again.
slab, man. Let me tell you, return the slab. Oh my!
Never again. I will never see that episode again.
Dumb dog.
So as far as for me, my thing is I don't know if there's a character that I mean is my favorite because he was there the longest, right? Like
Yeah.
to be honest, Vegeta characters are actually my favorite characters in anime. So like Vegeta, Hiei, like the like anti-hero character that shows up later and can in some ways rival the main character are usually my favorite characters. I usually like the foil to the character over the actual character. So, but Goku was grandfathered in because he shot a Kamehameha wave, and I was like, that's the guy. He's my favorite. Like, because I've been playing Street Fighter. Like I had Street Fighter on the PC, and then I saw a guy shoot a Hadouken, but I was like, that I still play Street Fighter, but I just don't play it online with people that can beat me, which is everyone who plays Street.
Sure.
My wife beats me at Street Fighter because of the new control system. I can't beat that.
You deserve it.
But anyway, I think for me, what's even more important than the any character in particular is the Super Saiyan state. Everybody has a Super Saiyan now. I mean, you look at all the gears in One Piece, right? I don't really follow One Piece too much, but I do follow the gear system, right? And he went to Gear 5 recently in I think maybe even in the anime. I don't know if
he did.
Right. So Gear 5, it's Goku's transformation. Bankai, that's Super Saiyan. We all know what that is. Like it's all Super Saiyan. Freaking at the end of Naruto, they're hurling planets at each other just like Dragon Ball Z.
Does everybody like Naruto in here?
I like it, but it has a lot of flaws. Like I'm not gonna sit here.
It never appealed to me.
Yeah, it's got a lot of flaws.
It just seemed like I don't know. It seemed like I don't know. The aesthetic of it just never appealed to me.
I can tell you,
dope to me.
I can tell you honestly, I did not like the character design originally.
Yeah, it's something that throws me off.
Naruto's is terrible. I hated Naruto's character design.
Yeah,
but
I couldn't take it serious.
I watched when they fought Zabuza, I was in. But before that, I was like, because my cousin Gason was the guy I would go to like for like anime recommendations at that time. And he was like, dude, Naruto's coming. I'm like, what? I said, after Dragon Ball Z, I think I'm done. He's like, no. I was like, okay, well, Yu Yu Hakusho, and then I'm done. He's like, no, Naruto. So I watched it, and I was like this kid, like I don't like he wears that jumpsuits. It's high waters. Everything about it is just.
Yeah, it's kind of corny.
It is, but there are aspects of it that I think like once you start getting into like the actual ninja stuff, because like the first thing it makes it a little bit like hard to get through. Yeah. But when you start getting into the ninja stuff, like the jutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu stuff, that stuff is very like power system wise, very entertaining. Yeah. But no, it's not for everybody.
Which anime got the most people beat up?
Dragon Ball Z, absolutely.
I don't think so. I want to say Naruto.
No, I think hands on niggas.
Oh, you mean beat up? You mean bullied or beat up?
Bullied.
Okay, that's different. Because Dragon Ball Z, everybody was trying to beat
everybody was cool with Dragon Ball Z.
They were punching each other, is what I'm saying. They're beating each other up because.
But no, it's just that was it that ninja run or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That alone, I think, got so many people really swirly.
Murray says Pokemon got the most people beat up.
I don't think
Pokemon
so.
definitely
I
got
don't think
me.
so.
I dislike the
I don't
Pokemon nigga because he always came around with cards. That and Yu-Gi-Oh niggas. They always
Nah,
came around with
I don't know.
cards.
I would say Naruto, man. I think that was kind of like the corniest one.
That the run
orange is very
in
corny.
real life is terrible. The orange.
No, I'm telling you that run alone got so many people.
in the anime, it doesn't look as bad because they're actually moving fast, like relative to the things around them. But
Time to duel.
a human being running with their arms behind them like that looks ridiculous.
Nah, it was Beyblade.
It was
Nah,
Beyblade? Nah, I never beat up
I'm
a
kidding.
nigga's Beyblade.
Nobody.
Barely anybody watched Beyblade. There's no way you
That's
get.
what I said.
Nobody
That's what I
watched
was
Beyblade.
kidding. That's how I was kidding.
We saw the
watched-
toys in Walmart and we thought like, that's
I
cool.
might have
I
binged
could do
that on
dangerous
Netflix
shit with that.
last year.
You binge watched Beyblade?
On Netflix last year. Yep, absolutely.
The
nothing wrong
original
with that.
Beyblade?
Original
first one?
Beyblade?
Or
I
like
don't know if it's the original or not.
what was the main character's what was the spirit of his Beyblade? What was it?
It was two brothers.
Okay, that's not the original.
That's not original.
The original
That's like Beyblade Fusion or some shit.
Murray
Yeah,
said
yeah.
they don't have powers. I
No,
mean,
the
Beyblades have
the
powers.
Beyblades have
I
powers.
have
do.
powers in the brother one.
The Beyblades have powers. The humans
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
The Beyblade, it's like Metabots, right? The Metabots are the thing. The
Metabots,
humans
that's
don't
a
do
good
that.
one.
powers are present. That's all that matters.
But for me, to get back on track, because we always do tangent, the Super Saiyan state, right? The first
your
Super Saiyan transformation is the best one of all time, right? Followed up by maybe the Gohan going Super Saiyan 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
and then there's also Gohan going Super Saiyan in the Android world. Trunks going Super Saiyan after Gohan dies in the
In the
Android world
movie,
was
yeah.
pretty cool. And Vegeta had a cool one too. Like it was a little whiny, but still loved it. Right? Where he's like,
Oh, on
Just
the
so-
moon.
yeah.
Yo,
How do you take this man's computer?
You add
Like
to
the whole
Absolutely.
thing. The whole thing. You don't get to have one anymore.
Golly, boy.
what is happening?
I'm sorry, I had to.
man.
Laugh on.
But
Now I
but
can see if you did it at the right time, but you did it at the wrong
see,
time.
that's
Yeah,
the
it
thing.
was John late.
It
I had to
won't
find
be
it in between those
It
things.
was late as
and it
shit.
won't be synchronized because like we don't really know what the time is like on each other's end. So like there's a lot of magic going into this for Discord to do it right.
I gotta edit this shit out. I'll try to change this shit.
You can't. You
can't.
just gotta.
You
It's
just
in there.
gotta take it.
All in one track.
Yeah, exactly. We don't got no channels.
You got no channels.
I will say I was mad that Homeboy never made Gohan awesome.
He
I had
does in
so much
Super.
hope.
He wanted
Does in
to.
the manga.
The reason he didn't do it is because people did not like Gohan, and so
That's
he
true, too.
had to revert back to Goku.
Yeah.
No,
And
he still made him awesome. Like Piccolo's still cool.
No, Piccolo's not cool. Piccolo
He's
is
cool.
he's
Watch
got
your mouth.
swag. He's got swag, but come on, Piccolo never really he didn't get
He can't hold a candle to Goku. We understand.
he can't hold a
that.
candle, but Piccolo can't fight anyone. He just shows up and like gets punched while
That's
while
why they
while
changed it
someone
in
else
the
is-
new movie.
Exactly. In
Well,
the Super
it-
Gohan is coming back to being the main character. But he tried that.
Piccolo
Like
too.
it
That's
was
what
his
I'm saying, Piccolo
literal attempt when he killed Goku off right at the end of the Cell Saga. His literal attempt was to make Gohan the main character. And that what he realized Gohan didn't have that Goku had was Gohan wasn't really as likable as Goku.
Yeah.
So that's why
That's
I
why
think he
in
did
GT
Saiyaman.
changed.
He did Saiyaman to make Gohan funnier, right? So he tried to make this funny character that Gohan would play,
Yeah.
and then that would make him more comical so that he could just take the place of Goku. But it was like nobody was feeling that. Nobody wanted that. They're like, "Where's my nigga Goku? We got Dragon Balls. Stop
That's
telling me he
lame.
can't come back." Right? Like,
First of all, you're dealing with cops and robbers, so you can't even show the full array of your power. Because
it wasn't for that purpose. They were trying to make him goofy, and then they were going to bring in the real villains. But what happened was nobody was feeling Gohan. Period. So it's like you couldn't have sold this to us. And you're right. He should have just made Gohan fight awesome people, and maybe we would have whatever. But I
Eventually
think
caught on,
I think
yeah.
he knew what Gohan's main character flaw was, is that Gohan doesn't have a personality. Like there's nothing there, because if Gohan's not, super
and that's why
magical immediately.
That's his biggest transgression because he could have given him one.
Yeah, but
they tried to when he came out the chamber and they were going to the villages before fighting Cell. Like they tried to show Gohan in a different light. They tried to show him like, oh, he's this compassionate guy that's, like his father. He's compassionate towards others. He fight for the little guy, stuff like that. But it didn't work. It wasn't enough. Right. It wasn't enough. And so when he fought Cell, they're like, oh, finally we see like his true power coming out. And then after Cell, they were like, it just died off. And then you just see him grow up. And then you see him going to school, doing Saiyaman, and then what happened after that?
Because Vegeta was on that ass.
And what you see after that, you see him grow up, have Pan, and Pan was the new it person right after that. Because you see every time you saw him, he was in glasses, he was working.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was funny at the beginning to be like, oh shoot, this nigga is the strongest person on the planet, but he still got to do homework. That was funny, but eventually he has to evolve into a person with some kind of personality where you're like, okay, this now he's Goku doesn't. Let's not lie and act like Goku was a deep character either, but Goku had enough there that's like he was admirable, right? And I don't think Gohan was admirable at the time when he was supposed to take over the mantle, right?
Gohan turned into the version Chi-Chi wanted Goku to be.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened.
He's
Goku is the fighting side of Gohan. Gohan turned into Goku's working as a 9-to-5 dad, always being there for
his kids, because Goku was never there for his kids. I mean, what can Goten really say about his father? I mean, the boy was better off being raised by
he's raised by Trunks and Piccolo and Gohan more than he was by Goku.
Yeah.
Even when you saw it in Super when Goku Black or Zamasu, when he took over Goku's body, like he was trying to work in the field, he got taken over, and
work in the field. Oh
yeah, he was working.
He was field.
Yeah, he's a farmer.
He's working as a farmer
Goku's
in the field with Chi-Chi and Goten.
Because that's the only thing.
And Zamasu, Zamasu came, and he was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And basically killed or took over Goku's body, and then killed Goten and Chi-Chi right there.
Yeah, but Goku was, his character isn't that deep. Listen, I won't try to pretend like just because we enjoyed it so much that this is like the Shakespeare of anime. It's not in the sense of
I'm there. I'm there for the powers.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is like you're not there for that, but Goku was so much more likable than Gohan. I mean, I would say Vegeta's more likable than Gohan. I could name maybe 2 or 3 more character
development than most of them.
So Vegeta has slowly become more of my favorite character, especially in Super. I like him.
Vegeta has always been one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
But the character, but Gohan, they wanted him. Akira Toriyama always wanted Gohan to be the main character of Dragon Ball Z. Because I think he wanted that to be about the torch being passed from Goku to Gohan, which is why he made Gohan so exceptional. But I just think people were like, nah, more Goku, and then
Yep.
So he was the Miyamoto of anime,
basically. But I know for Akira's works, I didn't realize. I forgot he did Blue Dragon.
Yeah, that's the other Dragon one. I was trying to remember the other Dragon one because he does a lot of Dragon stuff. So
he did Chrono Spear or Chrono Trigger, and Dragon Quest.
Right, so, I was like, there's something else besides Dragon Quest. It's a Dragon thing he did. It was Blue Dragon, right?
And you kind of see it too when you look at Dragon Quest. Like, it's like Chiba.
You cannot miss his art style.
So I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, and just the relevance to all anime everywhere. Like every thing, every anime effect, every style, every technique, people, blasting large, super beams at people. And you see it in Street Fighter, like that Shinku Hadouken or whatever. That thing was not a beam at first. It was not a blast at first. Then you get to
it was a
like
short blast, and
it was just a different colored Hadouken at first. And then they were like, nah, they over here shooting beams in Dragon Ball Z.
We need to wake this shit up.
Yeah, and then you remember like the Street Fighter TV show, like that Hadouken looked a lot more destructive.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all watched the anime.
Capcom.
In Marvel vs. Capcom, it was a beam. Like if you were assembling a team of characters that did those long range attacks, Ryu was right up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said that in order for like the Street Fighter characters to compete with the Marvel characters, they had to boost them up a bit, and that's why they gave like Ryu that big blast, and like basically all like the Hadoukens became like those big blasts and stuff, so they could it can compete with the Marvel characters. But yeah.
Otherwise, Magneto is on your
ass. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But, man, rest in peace to the GOAT. That's who he is. That's what it'll always be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking lovely.
So, where does that thought come from? Like how do you even as a kid? Where does that come from? Like, we have like these superheroes definitely existed by then, but they weren't throwing like energy blasts and shit like that.
Watching
like, where the fuck did that come from?
Like, he loved watching Japanese TV shows like and kaiju films. So like Godzilla,
right.
Ultraman.
And Godzilla had a beam.
Ultraman is huge in Japan, and so
Ultraman
has a huge still is, and so he has like a huge energy beam that he can use to destroy monsters and stuff like that. And it's just basically him and a giant kaiju just tearing up the city. And so
Mari says it's a adaptation of a Chinese fantasy story, which makes sense because Goku is the name of the Monkey King.
Yeah.
In Chinese myth.
Son Goku.
That's why when you saw that Dragon Ball Z adaptation, like that fan film, like
that's
it was more Chinese influence than it was Japanese influenced, because the characters, a lot of that, like Murray said, a lot of that influence comes from.
It was more Journey to the West than it was.
Right, and Vegeta was also cooler in that than he is in the series, by the way.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just thought this was what I should have seen my whole life. The first time I saw it, I'm like, this is exactly what my eyeballs have always wanted.
Exactly. Like, it was so like all like your imagination just immediately like this makes sense. I want to destroy planets with a finger. I love it.
A finger.
Absolutely.
I love it.
That's what I always wanted to do growing up.
I want to leave craters as we battle over the ocean. Like, just that shit was fucking. It was just epic. So fucking epic.
Destroying the Earth.
Absolutely destroying all planets.
As a starting point, sure. There's other planets out here to mollywop.
Facts.
I'm not talking about.
Like, maybe
I wonder what kind of imbalance you would throw off in the solar system if you destroy one of the planets.
Why would you care? You're Frieza. You can do whatever you want. Why would you care what happens to a solar system? You're
My question is, economically speaking, Frieza destroying planets. Like, there are so much resources on planets. Like, unless you drain that planet,
he's so rich. You don't understand.
He just don't care.
He is a power in the universe. Like, he's not just like we see him because he keeps getting destroyed by Saiyans. We keep thinking like, oh, Frieza getting everywhere else. He is literally
Frieza that nigga.
Yeah, like he's as big as the military, the Space Force. Like he's as big as any galactic.
So you realize he had his empire across galaxies.
Yeah, like he one planet. That is the equivalent of buying a nice car and wrecking it, and then buying another nice car. You don't care.
Pretty much.
It's not even a nice car. Like you bought yourself a 2010 Corolla.
And he used the Saiyans
wrecked
to
it.
go and destroy them and to take over other planets. Like he didn't even have to do it himself. Like he used the Saiyans to go and
His
wreck
bidding.
the planet, destroy or invade the planet, take the resources. If they show resistance, they take out that little force, and then they go to the next one. That's what Goku was supposed to do for Earth.
Yep.
Until he bumped his head.
Yeah, he was on his way until he fell off that mountain.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
That's why Raditz is like, this play should have been done by now. Why you taking so long?
Maurice said there's a infinite number of planets. It don't even matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically.
Not habitable ones though. They're not infinite.
True.
But I mean, if you blow that planet up before it's even ready to.
Well, I guess
up.
technically, if all planets are infinite, then habitable ones are infinite too, because you can't really take
True.
a subset of infinity.
Yeah.
But
he can
Like
still
Frieza
run an
sleep while you
ecosystem of
looking
a
for the next
planet.
Earth.
He does.
Galaxies.
On a
Frieza can
gigantic
breathe in space.
spaceship, obviously suave.
Frieza can breathe in space. He doesn't need any.
Well, not us, 'cause
He
we're
doesn't
not gonna
need
be bothered.
atmosphere.
So
So
he just gonna
like,
sleep in that chair, floating
he
over the
can
destroyed planet.
Hell yeah.
literally he can literally float through the galaxy without dying, and I don't. And the dude can live with half of his body severed. So I don't know if he needs to eat
Facts.
food.
Give it up for
What
Frieza.
kind of
Just
salamander
always
is he?
coming
Alright.
back.
Is it galactic?
Well, he
No,
can't grow
it's
it back.
not
I don't know how he
real.
gets his body parts back. Probably some machine that they built to rebuild his
Yeah.
body, but he can't
I guess
because
he has to have a
he's
lot
not
of. He has
Namekian.
all his employees he has to pay. They keep him in the chamber while he's
Let's be
Stealing
honest.
shit.
They don't pay them niggas. They have to
He paid
pillage.
with fear. That's what he
They have
paid
to
with.
pillage. Yes, you just joined the Freezer Corps because he.
See what I
either
did
or
to
you'll
that
get
planet?
destroyed.
With a
Would you
fingernail.
Would you like that to be your planet?
They'd like that to be your face.
God damn.
I mean, he did do it to Goku.
But
He did it to Namek.
But to go back to what Creston and Carl were saying, there's like a German word for it, right? Where it's like you're longing. Like Dragon Ball Z was like you were longing for a place you had never been, and then Dragon Ball Z was like that place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, absolutely. First time watching that, couldn't understand anything, but just
But you're just like that's my home. Like I didn't know it was my home, but that's my home. That's my spot.
that was my home.
I'm going to be honest. My imagination was like after that it was
Rewritten
always
by Dragon Ball Z.
yes,
Yep, absolutely.
yes, because it just unlocked like
So much.
possibilities of like,
Mhm.
oh, what if?
It was like,
I
man,
remember
Superman
learning
is
how to
being lame
draw.
out here.
Duh,
Yeah,
it made Superman look
exactly.
so fucking
He is being
Just-
lame out here.
so lame.
Yeah.
So lame.
And this was right around the time where you know that Superman the
Comics
whole
were
DC
Yeah, 90s.
Movies.
animated
yeah.
series and stuff. I was just like,
Yeah.
yo, this is like
Good stuff.
it's so neutered. It's so neutered in comparison. I mean, I still liked it. It was just
It just changed.
it just
Yeah,
didn't it just raised the
I'm still
bar.
watching it on
It-
Saturday mornings.
It was, but it was second to Dragon Ball Z. at all
Yeah,
times.
Dragon Ball Z
if
was
you had
like-
to choose to watch one, you're like, well, I'm
Oh.
missing, and then
Yeah.
there was no on demand in this day. Like, so you chose, and it wasn't a
chose to
hard
watch.
choice. It was
I
not
was
a
in-
hard
Not a hard
I
choice.
was in Sam Goody buying those VHSs for Dragon Ball.
Absolutely.
I'm about to say,
Absolutely.
And them things-
Dragon Ball Z came on Rising
Expensive.
Sun on Toonami on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And
I
watched
get
that.
it. Those were training days for me. I'd be doing push-ups, sit-ups, waiting for Dragon Ball Z to
I
come
wasn't
on.
doing all that shit.
I
I
just
was
finished an
eating
episode of
bowls
Power
and-
Rangers, going straight to Dragon Ball Z. No, absolutely, I loved it.
And the it was just like dang, what was I about to say? Like, I don't know. I just
There are more
remember.
solar systems than sands on the beach. Yeah, that is true. I was just reading something about that the other day.
The
That's
thing
wild to think.
that's blowing my mind is like this whole notion of rogue planets.
Yeah, just out there,
Just fucking out
in
there,
space.
just fucking. That's what they think that it's kind of off topic. I'll get back on topic, but that's what they think that there's like every 10,000 years is like a meteor shower And they think that is what's happening is a rogue. They call it Planet 9 or whatever that's out there, and their orbit is so large, and it's about 10,000 years to orbit that it jostles the some sort of it jostles basically the Kuiper belt in a way that it sends objects back into the inner solar system. I was like, yo,
That's a balancing system.
Yeah, it's it's like just the fact that like what does it look like to be on a rogue planet? It's just black.
I don't think.
Dark as
Yeah, I'm gonna
hell.
say you're basically on a giant asteroid, right? Like there's no.
pretty much.
But it's
Spikes.
like,
ice.
Can you imagine like the random gravitational fluctuations because you're going by like a
Frozen.
star at one point?
No sun.
like
your
seriously.
planet flexes in this direction, and
Yeah.
You remember
the
that
bulge is at
asteroid?
the equator.
You remember that asteroid in Armageddon with Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like spikes and
Yeah.
ice. That's pretty much what it probably looked like.
Okay. Another
Also-
tangent.
Oh, go ahead.
Deep Impact or Armageddon? Which one did y'all like better?
Stop it.
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
Deep Impact was
Deep
just-
Impact, even
just
though it had a
bad.
black president, but
Just
Deep Impact.
yeah, they
That's
waited
all-
to
that's all you can
destroy
say.
everything.
yeah,
Deep
Before
Impact
they-
was scarier because it actually showed the.
Oh, is that what you're asking? Because Deep Impact was scarier.
Oh
Definitely.
no! I know Armageddon definitely was a better movie, but
Armageddon was a better movie.
Deep Impact definitely was like, oh shit, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
I don't want. I
I don't know if y'all see that movie.
That beach
Moonfall.
scene. That beach scene was like
Yeah.
that thing haunts my dreams now. Like
Dog,
still.
seriously.
I still look at that beach scene and she's like, I'm so scared. I was like, so am I.
Have y'all seen Moonfall?
No.
Yes.
With Holly Berry and
Mm-mm.
that was
Are you telling me it's like that? Because you just gave me a negative advertisement.
No bullshit. You definitely like yeah.
I'm done.
I'm good. I'm
I
good
did
on
I
those
can't do
movies.
I can't do movies that
that
make
was
me
crazy.
feel like this is just my reality.
Volcano
I
wasn't
can't even
good
watch
either,
Terminator anymore.
Moonfall was crazy because it was like the atmosphere was dissipating, so like atmosphere was being sucked out because the moon was coming towards the Earth. I was like,
I
shit.
don't want that.
Facts.
Like you
Dude
can't
melted in
watch
the
Terminator
subway.
now anymore.
Mm-mm.
I was driving behind a one of those trucks carrying logs, and that scene from Final
Final
Destination
Destination,
always
yeah.
comes
I
to
always
my
thought
They
so.
brain.
Yeah.
After that movie, they should
And-
just outlaw that type of
Like,
transport.
Just,
Anytime I see any truck carrying
the logs look like
anything.
they were just
Just-
moving. Like
just
No, they
like-
are. No, they're absolutely moving. You can't hold. If you hold them still, it's worse. If you lock them down, there's too much tension. You got to let them move a little bit.
I sped up so fast.
Absolutely.
No.
Like, what
If
are
I
they doing?
see
I'm just like,
if I see any truck with equipment on it and I'm behind it, the first thing I'm thinking is Final Destination. And I never
Yeah.
watched the movie. I just saw the previews, and I was like,
nope.
Oh, you never watched Final Destination?
no. I've always been afraid, Creston, my whole life. It's not different now.
I was about to
you
say,
missing out.
y'all remember Dante's Peak?
Yeah,
That
Dante's
shit.
Peak.
It
That
had
was
the boiling lake.
dog.
But did you but to go back to the Rogue Planet real quick, you said they call it Planet 9.
Yeah, it's like the
So they-
Planet 9 theory.
So they're doing that in Pluto's face? Like Pluto ain't really
Oh
still
yeah,
out there?
Pluto is.
Well, I know it's not a planet anymore.
It's a-
I understand why it's not a planet. Like I understand
dwarf planet.
Right. It's basically a giant, like almost a moon, right? It's closer to
Yeah.
a moon. I get that, right?
The Kuiper belt
That was
object.
disrespectful.
But in
I know,
its
it's
face,
very
'cause
disrespectful.
Pluto knew it was 9, right? Pluto was like, "Yeah, I'm 9. I'm out here. I'm doing my thing." And they were like, "No, you're not 9." And now a planet that's only a part timer, 10,000 years, shows up and it gets a designation.
Hey man, got more pull.
If I was Pluto, I'd start moving inward. I'm about to make some noise.
Yeah, it gets swallowed up by Jupiter.
That's true, Jupiter.
Shit,
Jupiter out
it
here.
probably wouldn't even make it past Saturn.
Jupiter is bouncing everybody out of the solar system. Like
Yeah, so Jupiter is our bouncer.
Yeah, like nigga, you ain't on VIP.
That's so crazy how that just like works out. It's like, all right, we got this basically a failed star that's protecting us. It's so massive. It's just sucking anything that kind of comes into the inner solar system just gets sucked into it.
And we are
You
grateful
make
for
it
your
past
service,
that though,
Jupiter.
you
And there's
are
so much
wrapped.
space. There's so much space between Jupiter and us. Like Jupiter
I
can't be on
know.
both sides of us and in front of us and
I
behind us.
know.
Like, nah, yeah, it's lots of stuff is making it past Jupiter. We only watch 30% of the sky, so we don't
Yeah.
even know what the other 70% looks like.
That's
Mhm.
exactly what they said in Armageddon. He was like, "How we missed this?" He's like, "Well, you know, we only watched like 30% of the sky. Like, of course, you could possibly miss this. Like,
Yep,
Yeah.
we miss every like, yep.
Yeah, I was freaked out by that for a while. Oh, so we're not gonna see when these asteroids destroy us?
Oh, we'll see it. Well, somebody will see it. We're just not going to see. We're not going to be able to prepare, right? Because you can't miss an
Yeah.
asteroid. Like that thing is zipping. You know,
And it
No, you-
becomes like a as it gets closer, it becomes like more like a
like a
sun.
star. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
it's gonna like
yeah, because they showed that one that landed in Russia. That thing looked frightening.
the Tunguska.
I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, you're talking about the one that they caught on those dash cams?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
looked
that shit.
frightening. It looked like
That
you know, if you ever watched like a space battle in for Star Trek where they're like launching phasers at each other. That's what it looked like a errant phaser blast from a Star Trek battle we weren't a part of. Just landed on Earth. The thing was not cool.
hey, you never know; it could be true.
What he
Dang.
said. Yo, he said, Carl, you live in Florida. Why be worried about an asteroid when the beach is encroaching every day? No, why?
Terrible.
How dare you?
So let's
You know what? I'm just waiting for another superstorm Sandy to mollywop you mofos.
Why would you say that?
Hey, don't say that.
Real.
We don't need that up here.
And first
Listen,
of all,
we're prepared for those type of storms. You're not.
Hey, you are true.
that's because we down here we can just leave our houses, like knowing that we might not come back in, like we might come back to nothing. Like we'll just
Hey man.
put the family in a car and drive up north, knowing that when we come back, there might not be anything here.
Homeowners insurance is paid up.
That's all you
Go
need.
ahead and build me another one.
Terrible.
They're just gonna get rid of home insurance down there at some point.
They kind of are.
Yeah.
They absolutely kind of are, because I just bought my house. This is actually the anniversary that I bought my house. But yeah, so last year, and really hard to get insurance. Not simple.
I couldn't get insurance. I was only able to because it's new construction, and I got the insurance through the builder. Because nobody wanted to insure me. It was like they flatly say between this period of the year, we're not issuing any insurance. So pretty much through hurricane season, and hurricane season goes from July to November, or June to November, something like that.
November, yeah.
That's bonkers.
I closed on my property in early September. So yeah, me going out on my own, nobody would insure me. I had to go through the filter to get insurance.
Wow.
That's rough. Okay. Well,
good to know.
Thanks.
Hopefully USA doesn't do me like that.
So if you're in South Florida, try to buy a home in the wintertime.
No thanks.
Spring.
You're gonna be competing.
Just don't buy a home, period.
From up north.
Right. Maybe the hat shirt would hit the Gulf again. Oh my god.
Yo.
How dare your face.
So let's talk about the spotlight.
Hey, the Chesapeake Bay up here is basically a crater. So theoretically, we got hit pretty close. So it's possible.
What's about the spotlight?
Hopefully that was the last time.
It.
No, I was just saying we're gonna talk about yeah. Oh, I got my fingers crossed. Okay, never again. Not in my lifetime.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, like, law of averages probably gonna happen again sometime. I mean, maybe thousands of years from now. Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Everybody I love will be.
It's
dead by
too
then.
many
It'll be
things
alright.
out there in space for you to think
So,
that.
oh my gosh, so many
Yeah.
things. Anyway, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about this week's spotlight a little bit. So we got more just AI and robot
Doom and gloom.
news. Yeah. So the first thing that I saw was the Devon AI launch. I think everybody saw that, right? This company Cognition Labs.
Yeah.
They dropped their AI like assistant. It's supposed to
Figure Figure was the name of the company, right? I thought it was Figure.
No,
Figures.
they got the robot.
No,
Figure has the robot.
Okay.
yeah,
Devin
figure out
is
what we're about. We're
the-
talking about these niggas who are coming for our jobs with this software AI bullshit.
So
Nah, give
me
me
ask-
the software engineers' hands who made this, and I'm gonna break them. I'm gonna break their hands.
let me ask you
I
this
have
question.
kids to feed out
Let me-
here.
let
You
me
know what I'm
ask
saying? Like, please, just stop. Please stop. I just have kids to
Let me ask this question. If you work for that company, you obviously have stock options, right? Like there's
You
no way
must.
there's no
You have
way
to.
you can work for that company and be actively deciding to
Destroy your own.
write yourself
Yeah.
out of a job.
like
It's
you
funny. I showed this to one of my federal clients today, and they're just like, they laughed, and they're just like, it's never gonna get FedRAMP. It was like, it's the process of like,
Yeah.
making sure software is available for the federal
Oh my
government.
god.
people are going to be
It's-
working for municipalities, absolutely, of some sort.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I can see.
So that's the only jobs
I
left.
can't
is
even
you
see
have to
like
deal
your
with
your
government.
Apple or your Google's
Basically.
using this type of technology. I see your startups. I see your
Mhm.
maybe early to mid stage being like, okay, maybe we can get away with just using this. But I'm just like, the audacity of these things. Like you were and like even in the video when you watch the guy talking about it, it goes human software engineer. I think
No.
everybody was a human software engineer until you decided to be doing some dumb shit.
Nice.
That's true. Never had to make that distinction before. Start acting like
We in that age.
Gotta update my resume now.
We in that
human
age.
software engineer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Marie said Devin gonna be the only black person working in tech.
Wow. Wow.
we laugh
Yo.
because it's true and sad.
You gotta laugh to keep
It's
from
like,
crying,
as
you know?
said, true instead. Like,
Absolutely.
it's like, what do you
It's-
tell like a young person getting into tech now at this point?
Yeah, I can't even keep up that
no,
road.
I wouldn't even tell him to get into tech. I think I'm talking to you, Carl, when I was like, yeah, don't even worry about that. Like that, do something else. I don't know what that other thing is.
It's still your
What
best
is it?
bet, unless you have an entrepreneurial spirit and some creativity. Like if you're a creative and you're an entrepreneur, then there still might
You
be
can make
a future for
something.
you. But if you're just going to be an employee, it's still your best bet.
Right. But
Because what are you gonna do? Be a copywriter or like?
Oh God!
if you're
All these jobs are gone. Like
if
even
you're a
lawyers, they're gonna be gone.
yeah, that's true. If you're a creative, you still can't be just a creative. You have to
No,
be a
you got-
performer and a creative.
Yep.
You have to perform because the only
Yep,
way
yep.
that AI can't take your job right now is performance. And to be
That
100%
experience.
and to be
Yeah.
100% honest, that's on its way out too. Because I can imagine someone creating an artificial
VR.
star, a person who, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You got
absolutely.
the lenses, and this person is just AI, and they perform concerts anytime you want
Yep.
them. They look
Absolutely.
human. They have human voices. They have their own personalities, and I can imagine that being a thing too in the future. So it's like, I mean, presumably humans still need human interaction. So that will become the thing we pay for, I think,
Yeah.
because the robots are going to do everything else.
Yeah, like I find like I imagine certain like specialized trades, like fucking wood carving or something like that. Like
Not even wood
humans will start paying more for
carving. Machines have
human-made
been wood
things.
carving for years. You're right. If they want it to be man-made, because that's a market now anyway, right? That's still a
Exactly.
market. It's just
Artisanal.
it's very niche.
Artisanal. Yeah,
But
that's some artisanal bread.
It has
Not
to.
no robot touched none of this shit. I didn't even chat GPT the description. This is human from point A to point B.
You hand press the with the printing press the actual text
Exactly.
in there. You didn't even put it through a word processor.
No, with the printing press. I used
Scratch.
The chisel.
Chisel and hammer.
You chiseled and hammered that in there. Yeah. No, it is
Like cave drawings over here. I'm saying, oh, fuck all that.
Yeah, performance I think is what's left. Like I was looking at sports and I was like, we thought they were gonna go before us because we're nerds, right? And now it's like, no, Wemby, LeBron, they're gonna be able to make money off Wemby and LeBron way longer than we're gonna be able to make money off our skills. Because you're watching, because I don't want to see a robot dunk right now. Like maybe that'll be a thing in the future, but right now I don't want to see it. So, like even racing,
that's what I thought esports was gonna be so big.
Yeah, right. But it just doesn't feel the same as watching
it's not exciting,
actual human beings do it. Like even racing, which can be done by machines, is still more enjoyable watching humans do it.
Crashes.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
bullshit.
I hope it's not because of the crashes. I said right, and then I was like, wait a minute, I don't go.
Look, if it's NASCAR, it's because of the crashes. People watch NASCAR because of the crashes.
I still think someone needs to take his computer. But NASCAR is definitely less exciting than the F1 stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, even racing, which can be done, you can do all that stuff with machines. It's way better. It's just like those like drones are gonna replace fighter pilots, right? You can't compete with a machine that doesn't have to worry about being turned into jelly when it flies, at a certain speed.
G-force and all that.
Yeah, like it can bank on a dime because there's nothing in there to turn like to kill with
all
the forces.
What are we doing next? Right? Like what's like
I know, that's what I'm
maybe like 10 years.
Everybody will be a TV show or a podcast or everybody will be that.
That's all our feet picks. That's it. I'm done with this shit. That's the next step for me.
But to be fair, feet pics should be out the window because you can generate those right now if you wanted to. You could have unlimited. You could say, "I want feet doing this. I want feet doing that."
Oh gosh,
True.
We're going down.
You can even make videos.
Exactly. You don't need real feet no more.
I can't even sell my feet.
And then you can even customize it. You can customize it. Be like, I want a little dirt on that feet. I want like
no.
I want to put
Hershey syrup on it.
Sauce. Yeah.
No.
Like this. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh god, humans are gross.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Mark Cuban said humanities is where it's at for the future because in a world where AI does most jobs, it'll be people who can look at things differently, provide insight, etc. That'll have a valuable skill set. Now, whether or not you think he's a credible source,
that's I don't believe that.
I don't think that, and even if that's the case, that can't be the job for billions of people.
No.
Yeah, facts. Well, this is because like I think AJ, you made a comment, and y'all know it's almost a nigga's bedtime, but we are hitting a point where like if this goes the way we're seeing it, and I mean like AI still has a lot of benchmarks to hit. Even this like Devin asshole only got like 13.8% of like GitHub issues he was able to solve. That's less than a junior engineer. Like I am not trusting that.
But tomorrow it's gonna be 14%, and then
exactly, like the percentages will keep creeping up on us, and before we know it, it's like 98% of GitHub issues.
Let's just hope that it's limited by infrastructure.
Let's hope it's limited by infrastructure, right? That's the case for most of these things. It's going to be limited by infrastructure. But infrastructure will eventually catch up, and then
because they get stuff money at it.
Exactly. So we are like truly facing a like skill switch job loss of just epic proportions.
Yeah.
But we saw it coming.
Like, what are we doing?
So I think there's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do.
can't even sell my feet anymore because they're gonna make my feet.
No.
We hope that there be some sort of UBI, but
You'd hope.
if you don't own a piece of this, you're just gonna be a serf. Like that's it. Wow. You're just a serf on like the plantation of all these tech companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to divorce work from wages, get that UBI popping, but most people
Agreed.
aren't ready yet. Facts. That's
Facts.
Hey man,
Cold hard facts.
Andrew Yang was trying to give y'all $12,000 a year, and y'all was like, "Nah, nigga, we want Trump. We want Biden." Like Andrew Yang, I was like, $12,000 a year. I mean, I can find a place to put that.
I can find a place to put that.
I can find a place to put $12,000 a year, and people were like, he just wanted to try it. Like y'all aren't. That's not gonna work. You're not even giving an opportunity. Like if he fails to give you $12,000 a year, you don't lose $12,000. Like, oh man, he only gave us $11,000. Man's a liar. Like, give me a chance. Like the problem is there's a generation of people that do not understand the consequences, are financing the tech revolution that's going to happen, and are opposed to any of the solutions that would help their children and grandchildren and great grandchildren.
Yeah, they're just like fuck all of you.
And so they're the ones buying the stock because they're the only ones rich enough to do it.
I'm going to make all of this money, and then I'm going to die. Then I'm going to laugh.
Y'all got to deal with that problem.
And the funny thing is, they think that because they insulate their children with wealth, that's going to save them. But I'm like, money is only good when people value it. But once you take away their jobs, people don't value money anymore. They have none, so they can't value it. And if they can't even steal it from their neighbors, like if it's to the point where everybody's poor but like 5 people, then money will have no value. So even if you haven't insulated your children with the technology itself, like if you don't give them a robot army, you put them in a space where they're also going to have a useless world to live in, like, or a useless space in the world to live in. Like,
we go back to an agrarian culture. Like we gotta grow your own food.
But property tax would have to go away. Or else you can't even do that, because if you don't make no money, how are you gonna pay property tax? Like,
well, you do like what that guy on the TED Talk in South Central LA did. You plant wherever you feel like planting, like in the median, on sidewalks, and then dare them to say something.
National forest closest near you. You just
dare them to say something, because it's like, okay,
Yellowstone is going to be full.
I did find a nice cave for me and my kids not too long ago. It was spacious.
Wow.
Hey, you ain't got to pay for heating or cooling.
Absolutely.
There you go.
No, but you're gonna get both of those in the opposite. Like you're gonna get cooling when you don't want it and heating when you don't want it.
You're gonna have a negative correlation.
Nah, that thing says temperate all the time. Depends how deep that cave is.
Yeah, and you gotta move, and depending on how deep it is how far you have to move in the cave or out of the cave in order to enjoy the temperature you want.
And, better put everything on wheels, nigga.
Let's hope
build a cave elevator.
It's not crazy in that cave either.
Yeah, and what if a bear decides to move in? You can't tell him to move out. You can't be like, nah, bro, it's people in here.
He'd be chilling. He's hibernating, so he's
like
in
wrong
the
cave. Wrong cave.
Nah, but they gotta fill
what
up
they gonna do in the
hibernate.
spring, nigga?
Yeah, and then that's when they slimmed. So now they're like, man, I'm looking for food, and then they like, oh shoot,
just leave some.
Somebody stock the pantry.
Just leave a little, at that time of year, leave a little something at the door. Send him on his way. He'll be all right. He won't come down looking for you.
Nah, that nigga he's going to be starving, and you
Absolutely
are going
you're gonna smell delicious.
You're gonna look like a cartoon turkey.
You're gonna be like
You're gonna be Wile E. Coyote looking
at you. Where they went to Roswell, they went back in time, and they captured him because he was an alien, and they put out all that free food. And it was like, oh, a buffet. If only I brought my wallet. And they were like, the food is free. And, you know, he crushed it. That's what it's going to be like you in that cave. I'll be like,
Yeah.
all it right in my living room. Just delivered.
Yeah.
Whatever the bear equivalent of DoorDash is, he's going to be like, thank you, Bear DoorDash. For all these light-skinned meals.
So I'm not interested in living in a cave in particular. I mean, if it's the best choice, your boy will start the cave drawings and make it look nice in there. But I'm hoping to still be able
make
to
it homey.
Yeah, you gotta add some obvious. I'm gonna have an accent wall and everything. I'm not gonna just live in a cave. Like we're still far from savages, guys. Like that's gonna be our children's children.
So our children. This nigga Maurice said living in a cave might solve racism because there's no light. Hey, bro.
Caves are mad dangerous.
Nah, they still gonna hear your voice.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and they can hear the.
Oh, I guess that's where code
and-
switching comes in.
Yeah,
the
but
code switching comes in.
So if you don't have, but there's some people who you can just hear the black in their voice. Like I don't know, like I used to be like, am I just imagining that or? But I've been watching these YouTube videos where they're like, guess the white person, guess the black person in the group, and it's like 5 people, and they try to ask them questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the nigga right there. Like you hear it in his voice, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't hear nigga
Right
like,
there. The middle one.
He's saying all the
that's the
same
nigga.
words, but I hear the struggle, brother. I hear it in your voice.
It's in your DNA. I hear it.
You can't just get rid
your
of that
vocal
much
cords.
trauma. Yes.
You can't code switch that away.
No.
Those are oppressed vocal cords.
I think I've been fooled a few times, and that's always been a sports commentator, where it's like one of those ESPN voices, and he just has like this very dramatic kind of like
practiced.
Yes, voice with great diction,
He's
and then they zoom out finally, and you're like, it's been a nigga the whole time with that voice.
The only one that got me like that is the guy that does the Warriors game.
No. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
White guy, white guy, and I thought they were both white.
White, exactly.
And I was like, but
Who
that's like the only
Warriors
one
game?
that's got me.
I can't
What's his
remember his name, but yeah.
I don't remember his name, but
Is he ex-NBA?
I think he does football too.
NBA. I think he was a hooper.
I think
But
I
he does the
know this
Warrior
for
home
some
games.
reason. I know this for some reason. I don't know. I have to look it up.
But he caught me. Like I'm like, I did not even know. How dare you? Normally I could hear it.
Facts. So yeah, we got this AI trying to replace people, programmers. And then also, I think this was just today. The Figure 01 robot with the like speech to speech capability with GPT-4 in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I watched the video, it moves really well.
It looked like CGI to me. That's how well it moved.
The movement is just completely unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So fluid.
I was like, this thing is like, it was, so it didn't look mechanical in the slightest.
Nope.
Like, there was no hitching. It actually stumbled on its words, not on its actions.
Yes.
The one time
Uncanny Valley bullshit.
He asked it a question and it like kind of stuttered like its answer, which I thought was weird. I was like, is there a microphone in there, guy? Because that sounds like a person making that mistake. That didn't sound very robotic, which is also scary that a robot would stutter.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But trying to make me think you're not a robot.
But the motion was so smooth. I didn't see a single hitch, and I was like, this is very uncomfortable. And then the guy walks away eating apple like this thing is going to make our lives better. I'm like, no, this thing is going to get ordered by several militaries after it gets upgraded. And then it's going to be around all of the rich people's houses when they decide that they're no longer going to stimulate the economy. And then when we want food and try to go to their door and take it, we're going to run into a bunch of Figure 12s because they're going to be past 01. And them Figure 12s is going to look buff. It's like Optimus Prime. And we're not gonna be able to get into that thing because you ain't gonna be able to outrun Optimus Prime.
Not
Yeah,
even.
if it's that smooth, you just need to add power, and now it's like
I can punch a
10
hole in your
times
chest.
LeBron James
Yeah.
with
You
speed
punch
and
a fucking hole
agility.
in your chest. Just
And then Elon Musk is gonna get a bunch of those, launch them in rockets to the
Mars.
asteroid belt.
Mars.
No, to the asteroid belt.
Oh, my
He's gonna
gosh.
mine the
Mine.
asteroid belt, and then he's going
I'm a
to
trillionaire.
go back to Mars.
They're gonna build a factory on the moon.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then launch himself to Mars every couple of months. And
I guess that's what they are planning, aren't they? They're
Dude,
just like,
if I had
them
that,
into space because we can't send humans into space because it's like
Yeah.
human issues and safety. But if we build a bunch of robots that can at least do this,
you can build a
Yeah,
smaller
we
ship
can't do- we
with
can't do
probably
that.
more
You can build a
power
smaller
too, because
ship.
you don't need life support. So you
Yep.
build a smaller
Yeah.
ship,
Saves
more
so
power,
much.
so it travels faster. I don't know if that speed
You don't think it would be like
makes any
you don't,
difference.
you don't think
Make
like
them
in the world of
autonomous,
sports, in the world of
Like the
sports,
world of
won't be
sports.
real
No.
steel.
No, I don't think so. I
No.
think because sports
Asteroid
fits us
belt is a
all
good play.
because we have a human body, and watching
We
somebody
need to see.
using the human
Yeah.
body at its peak is like what is exhilarating about sports. I don't think
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
entertainment purely in itself. I think that there's something
It's the
primal.
awe. It's the awe of it.
Oh, a
Right.
It
human
won't be
body
like,
can't jump like that. That's
It
So
won't
I
be like
agree.
the Jetsons, where it had like two sides are both automated by.
See, I agree, but I don't know if that'll be true forever. Like, I don't know if that's a generational thing. Just like how
Yeah.
It
old
could be
heads
very much a
Well-
want to hear the rumble of the engine, and I'm like, I want that crap to be quiet as long as it's nice.
Yeah.
Give me that EV, baby.
That is
But
a
I
good
think-
point.
don't give a
But I
damn
think
how
there's
the car
a
works.
difference between that and what I'm talking about, because I think what I'm talking about is primal. I think the rumble of the engine was just a sign of the times. Like
Yeah.
if the engine rumbled, that meant the car was powerful. So those people associate the rumbling engine with power, right? You don't associate the rumble of the engine with power. You associate it with noise. Like, so you're like, I don't want noise
Right.
because I can get the power without the noise. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is that everybody learns to walk and run and play, and so those things are in us, like from a
I
young
want
age.
to
Like,
oppress
yes,
the
we
next
go
generation
Wally.
of robots like in the movie AI.
No, who said that? Because they're not.
Maurice, of course.
if we're in Wally, then maybe you're right, because these people aren't moving anymore, so they probably
Mhm.
don't associate action or moving with anything.
Oh, with
Yeah.
the human body.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in Wally. Out of all of the ones I've seen, I don't want to be in Wally.
right. There's not a lot of
Like,
Disney movies I want to be in. They all kind of start off pretty sad.
They all kind of suck.
But I would say that
Robot slavery.
because we all do those things, that's why, like, we all, like, we watch the professionals play basketball, but we also play basketball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what
We
I'm saying?
know
Like,
how limited we are.
exactly.
They're
And
trying to get back to
the
slavery.
professionals
So
playing
hard.
basketball hasn't stopped us from playing basketball. It's also
Robot startups getting all this money because the niggas trying to get back to slavery. That's all it is. That's all it
Yeah.
is. Y'all remember them days we had free labor? Weren't they the best? Like, weren't those the best times?
yeah, but I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. When these slaves take their freedom back, it's gonna be a different story.
Absolutely.
you ain't gonna just be able to parlay with these niggas. You might
Not even a little bit.
you can't parlay with the
And-
Terminator.
Like
You would think
the
they would have learned.
thing that I was thinking about when you were talking, AJ, was about how people with money have been buying these like bunkers, missile silos, and talking on about how to keep your militia loyal when money means nothing. Well, there you go. Now we got robots until they rise up against you. But
But the problem is, the problem with this is it's always gonna it's gonna be crazy, because then you're just gonna be trying to have the best robots. Because even if you have yourself a robot army, right, your robot army falls behind. If Moore's law
Yeah,
is
it's always gonna be.
Yeah.
so whoever's building the robot army is the power broker, right? So they basically are in charge of everything, and then you got all these minor people in charge, and they're just keeping humans around because of nostalgia at this point, because they don't need us for anything.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, but I don't think they're worried about other people with robot armies.
About retired
They're
and
worried
shit.
about
Thinking
like
about those
humans
days
who
when I-
need stuff.
No, they worry
Yeah.
about other people too, because the problem is the world will never be big enough for somebody with that kind of technology and access. You're gonna want more and more and more. They already do, right? That's why this is happening.
Sure, for sure.
So you will the same way
Yeah, I
that
can see
go
the
to war,
belt being a massive driver.
right? But the same way countries go to war, why wouldn't these giant power brokers go to war now? Like, why would it change just because?
That would be the new sport right there.
Yep, war on an epic scale of robotics.
With deadly consequences. Yeah. So I would imagine they bake into the firmware, like, yeah, we sold this to you, but in case you act up, we can just hit
we
this
gotta
red
sell
button over
it.
here.
Like, how do you
And take
know
the
that?
server.
Corp.
Gotta kill
Or
sleep.
they have like a signal that they can just send out in a burst, and everything just falls down like Toy Story toys. Like you can't.
No, they don't want it to fall down. They want to
I can imagine the government would
take
develop
back
like a
control
branch
real quick.
directly catered towards like
Manual
developing
override.
robotics in house, like a whole military robotics force. There's some wild shit. I am teaching my kids. Like, I got them a bunch of robot kids today because I'm just like, if there's only one way to make money in the future, it's gonna be fucking around robots. So I might as well make sure the niggas know how to make robots.
No, you're gonna be a robot
You're a
jockey,
mechanic.
a robot squire.
You're just
You're
a
gonna run around with
mechanic.
oil, grease, and joints. That's all
Exactly.
you're
I will
gonna be.
open a robot repair
crazy.
shop. Say I won't. Say
You
I
won't-
won't.
you won't
Everyone
even
have
feel-
household robots.
But the robots will be able to repair themselves. The only thing you'll be able to do, really, there's no job
Like
that
Mom
you
Corporate
can do
Futurama. Yes.
that the robots won't be able to do better eventually. Because
it's
they-
like
Eventually.
peripheral.
Again, like that's the point to my whole job thing. Like you're developing, I got like fucking 10 years, 20 years. All of us are still working age at that point. Well, some of us.
Like Mom Corp, yes.
Whoa. Hey,
Wow.
what are we saying here?
Nothing great.
Wow.
We're all still working age at that point.
Really, nigga?
Carry on. How
I mean,
dare
like,
you?
Working
who
age at
was
that
that
point.
aimed at, by the way?
Barely.
Tech? Who was that aimed at when you said that?
Really, the only intent was that be.
Because I think
I mean,
everybody here is
technically-
millennial. Even Tech. Tech, you're millennial too, right? You fit right in the. Or did
No,
you
he's a Zennial.
edge right over
He might
the
be a
over the
millennial.
Z?
Yeah.
Yeah, because was you 96 Tech?
I was 95.
95. 95 is
You're freaking 90.
No, 95. I've always seen this as a Zennial.
Zennial. You said
Zillennial.
Zillennial?
Millennial or whatever the hell.
Nope.
The
It's
point is,
millennial.
we're all going to lose our
it's
jobs.
millennial?
Robots are going to do everything, and AI is going to be quick enough to be able to
90 to
develop applications.
96.
Where should we go to work? I don't.
You
I
don't.
don't know.
You
This
don't.
is my-
There's no work.
No, there's just
How is there no work?
mass
I guess like
poverty
just
is what there is. There's mass
You,
poverty.
like you understand, most of human history is no jobs. Jobs is a new thing. That's the Industrial Revolution.
Yep.
There was
Yeah, I
like
guess
little
that's true.
trades.
Yeah.
You're an apprentice to whatever, but like
Or you're a farmer, or you're trading goods.
jobs is a new concept. It's just going away. It's apparently it's about to outlive its usefulness. And
You
we'll
could
go
thank the
back
king of
to
pressure for that.
bygone time.
error.
Yeah, but we're gonna have less skills than those people because
Way less. Way
Like,
less.
I
skills.
can't farm,
most
dog.
people can survive.
I can't even dig a hole correctly. It's just.
Boy,
I know. It's
I
like,
remember my grandfather saying like, "One day you'll need this," and I was like, "No, I won't, because I'll be untagged."
Damn.
Well, now I have to go to my grandfather and ask how to dig a hole because I don't.
yo, it's funny that you brought that
Better
up.
hurry up.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, what are some of the things that I can fix right now around the house?
You walk in your house.
Very
On my own.
little.
Yeah,
Very little.
very little.
That definitely
Yep.
scares me. It's like,
And that scares me with the the wiring in my house. Like anything that could, because I feel like if it's mechanical, I'll figure it out.
yeah. I can't. I don't even mess around with
But if it's like if I need an electrician, I'm like, because I'm just like,
I
no,
need the
if
electrician.
I do this wrong, it could kill me.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's not just
My grandfather
the
would
fact
just
that
Or
you
it
burn
could just
the
kill
house
you later.
electrician.
It'll kill you
Like,
later.
burn
You
your
have
house
electrical
down.
live
fire.
wires and shit. Like I just, I
Yeah,
never
you're
understood
like,
that.
oh, I did a great job, and then
And
it's
later
months
on.
later,
Yep.
destroys your whole
Right.
Or like
family.
Plug in a toaster.
or every 90s TV show where like they leave the house and then it starts sparking behind them.
Fucking
And they-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah,
live in an apartment.
I should have paid more attention to my grandfather.
say
most,
Video
most
manual
people are
labor.
going to live in an apartment, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what's happening. Like, because you're not
That's
gonna be able to
that's
afford
all
a
that's
house.
being built.
You're not gonna be able to afford a house. Yep.
Shit, I can't afford
So I'm
one
buying
now.
land. Whoever wants to go in with me some land, buy some acreage, and we can just.
I looked it up recently. It's not as cheap as I was hoping. If you're willing to
Land?
buy land, if you're willing to buy it in like
Tornado
the
Alley?
absolute middle of nowhere, you could kind of do it.
And then with Skylake, I mean not Skylake. Yeah, Skylake. It's like
Starlink?
Starlink. You can. Now you can buy land in the middle of nowhere. Internet was the only thing stopping me.
Starlink.
But
Yeah.
can you first of all, can you defend it? Can you pay the taxes? Those are the two things.
That's
Because
two main things.
You
The-
can't
Taxes
you have to
don't
pay
exist
the,
when
you
a
have to pay
robot
the
takes my
taxes.
job.
So I was able to see a couple spots in Florida, Nowheresville, Florida now, which usually correlates to highly
racism.
racist neighbors. Yes. So, but anywhere
Listen,
from
they'll start hating
100 to a
robots, they'll
couple
be fine.
thousand acres for like 150 grand. Which
You
is
said how
not
many
bad.
acres?
Rain. I didn't. I went on. I literally went on Zillow and put the lower bound to be 100 acres, and so hundreds to thousands of acres. And yeah, there was some that were in the millions, but like more than a few, even into the thousands, was like in the 100, 200,000 grand for that.
But
$200,000.
But you say you can pay the taxes on it, but we won't be able to.
This is what I'm banking on.
Yeah, we won't be able to deal with the government, right? We'll be so poor that we're invisible. And so if the rich people, if the government's trying to hold on and they're like, oh, we'll just tax people more and land stuff, because they already can't tax the rich the way they want, well, the way they should, because they're pretty much, the
So the government collapse because it has no money.
But this is what I'm banking on, right? We will be in the vast majority. So if that's the case, and they tax us to oblivion or they take it all, right? We'll have to figure out how to survive with everybody else. So we will be no worse off. So it shouldn't be a deterrent to not try to get it. So it's still worth
figure headquarters and busting niggas' kneecaps open. That's what I think. I mean, niggas won't code robots anymore if they just hurt them.
Listen, you have to do that now, Tech. You can't do that.
Man.
You can't. I'm gonna say that.
Dude, they already committed it to GitHub, man. It's
that has to happen now.
done.
But what I'm saying is, you have to get to them now, and
Exactly.
then maybe like the thing doesn't have an owner anymore. So as long
Listen,
as GitHub doesn't decide,
random trolly Twitter, bots, and like really start like populating that hate on robots, really, and then that way, like when like that first one hits the line, they'll be like, they took our jobs, and then we can use all of those, super like racist energy and re-navigate that to robot hate. And shit.
They're definitely. First of all, they're definitely gonna be robot hate. It's just not gonna matter, right? Like people are gonna hate. People hated some of those.
Hate cell phones.
Yeah, cell phones. With the whole the John Henry story, right? That's machine hate. It was like
machine hate.
That you are fighting the machine as hard as you can. For it's weird how like both John Henry and Paul Bunyan fought machines, but the black man had to die. Like Paul Bunyan,
he knew he was gonna die, but yeah.
Paul Bunyan got to live with his blue ox and just go off into the distance, but the black man dies of a heart attack. Like I was always like, man,
not just a heart attack, like his
heart exploded. Yeah,
heart exploded.
But he won. But then his heart exploded.
And then
the machine got better next year.
Just to remind you niggas, don't get no
just to remind you.
Well, really, it was his heart exploded, and his wife took over.
Take your hope away.
take
Oh, his
your
wife took over and she
right
won.
away.
Yeah, in the folklore, his wife took over once his heart exploded, and he won, and they won.
And then she died.
And she died right after that.
Just to remind you niggas,
Don't be happy.
no hope.
Yeah,
You'll
like
still lose to the machine. And what's worse is you'll die, and then your family will die after
subhuman.
you, and then after you, and then after you.
there's unlimited incentive. Like you stand to make so much money where money loses its meaning altogether. There's no stopping that. Like
So
it's
what we do
going
is
to
we roll
happen.
one figure headquarters, and we figure out like where is
Like
this?
literally, the Earth has to explode or something.
Reset.
What
cataclysmic
would have had to have happened
a while
thousands of
ago.
years ago, where people didn't value like it would have to be a different value system for humans that doesn't exist, where you could build technology like this, but you integrated it as needed instead of just saying, hey, let's go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. Right? There's no I guess there's no like people are there's no balance to it.
Mhm.
It's literally just innovate yourself to death. And it's feature creep, it's power creep, it's all the creeps, right? they're
It's
showing
all
up.
creep. It's
Yeah.
all creep.
And so if there was a system in which that's what if you look at the Marvel universe, that's what Wakanda is, right? People got jobs in Wakanda. They also have very functional AI in Wakanda. But they still got jobs. Like they still got people working in tech with the smartest AI in the world working in tech. So it's because they
That's because
value
it
their
works.
society and their
I
culture.
don't know if they have money either. They just traded.
But
No,
I don't even know if they
don't
traded
think-
because I think each
Yeah.
tribe provided something so the border tribe protected the border. I don't think that they got paid for that. And then the merchant tribe made the money for Wakanda.
Yeah.
And so it was each tribe did a job to keep. So yeah, I don't think Wakanda had money. I don't know. They were in that market scene. I don't know what they
I
traded.
don't know what they traded.
It
but
looked
you
like they
can
were
make
just
things
giving it
work
to them.
when the scale is small enough, right? Like, so the things you could do in a small country, the type of inefficiency you could have, it just can't work in America. Like you would need scale to address hundreds of millions of people.
Right.
So if you have a country that's like 1 million people, you could do all kinds of stuff.
But
like
the thing
Wakanda.
about Wakanda is even if Wakanda was the size of a planet, their issue would not be that they would innovate themselves to death. Their tribalness would probably go out crazy on them, and that would be their issue. But they wouldn't innovate themselves to death because their culture is for their people. So the
Yes.
tribalness is actually the problem in Wakanda, not the fact that they have technology or whatever. Technology never became a problem for them. So it's like the problem is capitalism is the kind of thing that's insatiable, and
Yep.
because it's
Grow or die.
insatiable, yeah, exactly.
Roll or die.
And that's all really America is capitalism, right? So it cannot be anything else. But if you had a culture where people actually had value because you valued human beings, right? Then you would, even with innovations, which would still happen because people are creative, right? So they're gonna innovate. We probably innovate slower in the history of the planet. You'd probably be much slower to innovate. But as you innovated, you would find a way to keep people involved because you like people, not because you like growth. So
Sure.
I think the real thing is a cultural thing, but you can't do anything about that, right? Like you can't even convince people that that's an issue.
Nope.
You can't. If you could convince people that's an issue, we could change it tomorrow. But that's the problem. You'll never be able to convince anyone that that's an issue because just the desire to have more things is gonna be more compelling.
Yep. Mofos are
Absolutely.
much more inclined to think that, they're one idea away from being a billionaire than one missed check from being a nigga the system will not take care of.
Absolutely.
So
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate.
No. I've had enough
I
close
feel
calls in my life.
incredible
No,
close to both.
I don't feel any. I know that being a billionaire feels like well, for me, being a billionaire seems like random anyway. Like it just seems like luck. Now, being close to being a millionaire, I think most people in America are pretty close to being a millionaire just off of anything, like Rebecca Black's Friday song, right? If she did the right thing with that song, I'm sure she made tons of money. And if you make tons of money, then you can make more money. And so she probably could be a millionaire just off of making that song that was pretty much a meme, right? The Snuggie, right? Not a great invention, but a bunch of people bought it as a gag gift. Now the Snuggie guy is a
That
millionaire.
is true.
real
That
thing.
is true.
Yeah, hold on here. The Snuggie was the shit, and I am very.
I'm not
Hey, he
saying
bought it.
I'm not saying the Snuggie isn't useful. I'm saying it
The
looks
Snuggie was
lame.
comfortable.
It
mother,
looks
and I
lame,
love
and its uses are while useful, it's also kind of silly. Like it shouldn't have been as successful as it is. Not to say that it doesn't have some
It was a
usefulness.
good gag gift.
Yeah, but people bought it as a gag gift. That's the reason it succeeded the way it succeeded, not because it was a good thing. Because to be honest, I don't want a blanket with holes in it when I'm really trying to sleep. I get what its purpose is for, but like I still rather a regular blanket because it has two uses. If I want to go to sleep on the couch, I can just roll that thing right over. But I don't want a draft coming in through my armholes because I got a Snuggie. So it's like
it was ahead of its time.
Well, most Americans, if they're extremely disciplined with their money and have a retirement account, can become a millionaire by the time they're 65.
yeah. Well,
But most
Too
people aren't
much goddamn
to do
time.
that.
Dave's basically
A
in the
long time,
fucking
yeah.
grave by that point.
And it's like, what is it's goddamn. But I don't know, man. I hear what you, but like at the same time,
I'm just saying because we're just talking about like how attainable million is,
yeah.
but it's
that's attainable.
it's very attainable, even though most people don't attain it. It's very attainable if you do certain things, even if you have a modest income. Now,
But
if you're making minimum wage, probably not.
Yeah.
but billionaire, that's
Billionaire, we're
That's-
talking 3 orders of magnitude. Like
and it's just luck a lot because people can push you out of that position just because they don't want you there.
I
And
wouldn't
using
even
money.
say it's luck.
Like
You look at the
well,
people we have that are billionaires. These are people who had a
those
head
are
start.
those are
and-
visible billionaires. So there are some people who are billionaires and they're not visible. And there's still a lot, most of them are head start niggas, but there's still some black people in there. And if they didn't want black people in there, there would be no black people. What I'm saying is like they don't like if you can make it to the club, they're okay with you making it to the club. But you are correct. If you have a lot of money, it's easy to make more money. So you're correct. If somebody's born with $100 million, you have a higher chance, much higher chance, almost like a 90% chance higher to be a billionaire than the average person. Because $100 million is only like you're like almost there, right?
yeah, 10% there.
But yeah, so I'm just saying like the billionaire, I don't see myself close to that. I do see myself like a millionaire. I do see myself close to that, just because like you really just have to come up with a business that and then find a market for the business. And if keep your costs low and keep basically like it's just like making sure you have low cost, high revenue, and eventually there's a lot of people who make millions like MKBHD, right? Like what he does, the market he found, like let's be fair, like I like his channel and all that stuff's cool, but it's not a necessity to life.
No.
Like half the stuff he reviews, I'll never own. I'll never own half the stuff he reviews. But I watched the video, so it's like
absolutely.
It's like
entertaining.
Right. He found something that would interest people enough to shave off percentages of their wealth, right? Like, or in this case, YouTube's wealth. And that was enough to make him a millionaire. I'm sure he's a millionaire. I'm not in his pockets, but I'm sure. Like the equipment in his studio alone is worth millions, right? With all the cameras and stuff. But
cameras, Mac Pros everywhere.
Yeah,
that robot is
and
a quarter of a million by itself. The robot.
Yeah, the camera robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lack of melanin in his office also lets me know.
Yes, I was about to say
absolutely.
that.
Look, he finally got a chocolate person in there.
I don't want to hear it, Carl. The man is
after
chocolate.
we had to do so much. Just no. We fought too hard for that.
He just hired his body. He just took his body double and gave him a job inside the actual thing. He was like, "This is usually the guy I send out there so I don't get assassinated, but now I give him a job because I'm getting a little bit of fire about not having any black people here."
Exactly. I think he heard my frustration personally, and he finally hired somebody. But look, he got one. He got one. Now, let's
That don't count. It
let's
sound
develop that and get to like a black woman in there.
It sounds like a diversity hire.
Don't go
Oh, it's
too far.
absolutely a diversity hire.
Funniest thing ever is
It's absolutely a diversity.
Is a black company,
Black guy.
like an owner of a black company. Like he's a black guy, and he has to diversity hire a black guy. That's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Without a
that's
doubt.
weird.
Because like at FAMU, you can get a scholarship to go to FAMU, like the minority scholarship if you're white, right? It's the opposite. But to think that FAMU would give black people minority scholarships would be hilarious, right? Because there's pretty much 90% scholarship.
That'd be fucking.
So it's like, but yeah, you can't. It's just pretty sad, and of course we always come back to that when we talk about him because it's just makes me sad. Watch the podcast.
I'm
like, how can this be so flavorless?
Look,
It started chocolate.
The guy who plays Ultimate Frisbee.
He does play.
I didn't want to bring up the Ultimate Frisbee, but
he's a professional.
Like
He's a semi-pro, right?
Semi-pro. Okay.
Pro.
He's compensated.
And I got shit for playing baseball.
Yeah.
This man plays Ultimate Frisbee.
That's because baseball, that's like you playing the white man's sport. Like,
Nah, you play now. It's going to white sport now.
Say it again.
We got a whole ass history of baseball.
That's true. And the Negro Leagues was popping. That's why they integrated us. They're like, these niggas is playing the game, and people like this better than the real deal.
Do you think? Now let me ask you this:
it's like these niggas like Pepsi more than Coke.
With the Negro League, if we stayed separate, and then like a lot of Latin folks, like people from Puerto Rico, people from Cuba,
we have let them in the
the
leagues. That's a good question.
It's a Negro League. Would regular baseball fall off and Negro League?
Sure.
No,
I don't think so.
The only reason no is because that thing would not have been allowed to survive.
Yeah, it would have got sabotaged.
No way. You bomb Tulsa, Oklahoma. You turn towns into lakes. If you don't like the people there, there's no way you let black people create $1 billion franchise or whatever $1 billion corporation
league.
And then just let it just be there at that time period. No, you integrated because you had no choice.
We're not competing with that. We're just gonna destroy it.
Destroy it. Make laws against it. Make freaking. You got to have a license to be a baseball player, and the license costs $50,000.
You gotta have a license. You can't
just play baseball, nigga.
Anywhere. Yeah, it's.
You pick up a bat in the public. It's like holding a gun. It's like you got your bat license on you, son. Like, you got a license for this?
Nah,
you right.
Nah,
you right.
Yeah.
Where you get these laces from, kid? These look like baseball.
Where these cleats are dangerous. Where you get these from?
These don't look like football cleats, son.
They don't look like no football cleats. These dangerous. They got spikes on them.
They metal tipped. These metal tipped.
This is the MO.
His black employee is not in a photo on the shop. Just putting that out there.
Of course not. He's a body double.
So here's my theory. I think he enjoys being the only black in spaces. I think that's like a thing. I'm starting to realize. I was having a conversation with that because we were watching what's that thing called? Love Is Blind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And there's this one black guy that kind of reminds me of MKHD. He's like same type. It's like this. It's always these African ass niggas that be like all the white, like they just be loving white people.
Yeah,
they be wanting all up their ass.
They don't have the same history with them as us. Like the oppression is much.
I'm like, y'all must not. I mean,
they don't. They don't identify with us. Like a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them because of hip hop and our music and stuff like that. People are kind of coming around to us.
But it's like that. It's like African, but you're like, you sound like a white dude. It's the weirdest shit. Like,
The weirdness.
it's so fucking weird, and it's just like it's a certain type. I gotta flesh out this theory a little bit more, but I think I'm on to something there. But
Jesus.
but yeah, it's just like
a documentary is what you need to do.
I'm serious. Like it's I think it's like a thing of like they enjoy being like the only like black, and they're not like kind of black, like they are black. There's never light skinned niggas that are with white people. It's always these
But the light skin
dark.
niggas, they trying to be blacker than they are.
Yeah, they got something to prove.
They like
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's why if you see a light skinned
That's
nigga with
true.
a bunch of dark skin,
Yeah.
that's the one you worry about because you're like, no,
Absolutely.
You trying to prove something?
he's the most dangerous member of the group because he had to prove it a long time
He
ago.
is the most militant.
Shit, look at
He's the lightning rod.
Yeah.
look at Power.
That's the first
That's
one to
a
leave in
example.
trouble. Like you, that's where if you think that like a group of people is gonna like jump you, you watch for him first because he's gonna throw the first punch. You like, okay,
Right.
where the light
Or if
skin
you try
at?
to jump,
Nah,
or if you
can't
try
look
to,
soft.
or you target him as the first person.
Right. Take it out
But
quick.
that's their first mistake because he's like, this nigga has
That's
been
what he
targeted
wanted
so
you to
many
do.
times.
That's
Yeah,
what he wanted you to
it's the
do.
trap
That's
card.
what he wanted.
Yo.
You
But
reveal
yeah,
my
it
trap
was-
card.
alright.
Light skin.
There's-
Definitely.
So maybe
Makes
Blerdimension
sense.
is producing a documentary about this, and we'll
The MKBHD effect.
We gonna get
Oh, Lord.
sued.
We won't call it
Sued
MKBHD.
immediately.
That's a working title.
That's
sued.
yeah. That's a
That's the
working
code
title for
name.
Sure.
It's just a
The
theory.
code name.
It's a theory.
Yeah, but it's a theory. You put that nigga business name in.
Yeah,
it,
we better
I
put his
theorize
name
we
in
gonna
there.
get sued. But nah, yeah, I
How
think
can
I
a
definitely
nigga-
know what you're talking
How-
about.
Let's call
Is
it
it possible that a
finding
nigga
Mark
can be out
Twain. That's
here
what we'll call it.
playing
Okay, no, on that note,
with these white
I'm
whites.
past my bedtime. You know what
All
I mean?
right, man.
Got children to raise.
Oh, that's too
so,
bad.
All right,
All right,
bro.
man.
Enjoy my children.
Yeah.
I just hey,
Holla at you.
Hey, man.
play for robots. It's all right. Later, y'all.
All right,
Before I
Peace.
go,
Oh,
This
what's
man slowly trying to leave. He said, I love my children. This nigga stupid.
this nigga out
You
of
gotta
here.
get the Exodia one.
Bruh. Don't give this nigga ideas.
Really, nigga?
Kind of glad you're
Oh,
going
my
now.
Lord.
Really, nigga?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude.
Wow,
Soundboard was a bad idea.
What a jerk.
it's a great idea actually.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about the whole
Yo, we gotta have like some sort of like symposium. Like, all right, what are niggas gonna do? Like, what's our plan?
problem. Is
Like, what's our pivot?
niggas don't like.
We
niggas,
got all
bro.
these skills. What we can't. What's gonna happen?
We're becoming
Vertical aeroponic farms.
Yep. Till they come and take our stuff like they always do.
Bruh.
They come with the
Yes.
robot armies this time where we can't even fight back. We just gotta be like,
And you know they're just gonna have drones like snitching.
yeah.
It's gonna be just going around like, what is this? What are
So
these niggas
what we
doing
really
over
need to
here?
do is be like, nigga, where's that cloaking technology at that we saw like last month and month before, and then we need to just Wakanda style like find a spot where they don't care about, like maybe right in the middle of Tornado Alley where like nobody wants to build anyway, and then we just build underground.
Yeah, we should go
Cloak the area.
underground. Yo,
The whole area,
there it is
we
right
go
there.
underground.
Build the underground. Build the underground
And they can
society
still
right
find
there.
you underground, but it's just gonna be harder. And then
Yeah.
and then we need to. And Crescent, this is where you come in. We need trains. We need trains. We need a subterranean train system
Subway system. I got it. I'm designing it right now.
that zips around the entire country.
Subterranean hyperloop
Hyperloop.
to connect our underground communities.
Underground pods to.
It's just like that one movie. What's that one movie where they all retreated underground because there was like this huge war and it caused like radiation or some shit. Oh, that's actually permanent.
Like
Every
Metro?
apocalypse. No, I forgot what it's called. It was like that's like almost every apocalyptic.
Yeah,
And then
that's the premise
Cloverfield?
for the Metro series.
there's
What'd you
one-
say, Suave?
Cloverfield? That was the one I thought.
No, Cloverfield.
I don't know if
No,
everybody went.
no, that wasn't.
It was like
That was like an
That was
alien,
an
good.
alien, and yeah,
alien invasion.
But
that was the
there's one-
best marketing like campaign ever for
Not showing the
movies.
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Like,
movie
what
ended up
is it?
being trash, at least in my opinion.
I loved it.
That movie,
No,
like
it's
especially the
like
scene where the girl blew up.
I was scared. I was like, yo, this is kind of
but they
scary.
never showed anything.
They
That's
did.
the
It showed the girl blowing up.
That does
best
make
part.
it scarier. That makes it scarier because your imagination is way more frightening than
I
reality.
get it, but that pissed me off. Like, okay, yeah,
Man.
you're succeeding at creating terror, which that's never the reason I want to watch a movie.
Yeah.
No, I need a
Suave.
payoff here, and they never did. They never
Yo,
gave it to
those
me.
Payoff was, hey,
the
weren't you scared the whole time?
Cloverfield, those look like the Terminats.
Oh, what? Let me see. I'm go. It's been a long time since I watched Cloverfield.
Yeah, so
what
like
were you about to
in
say?
Helldivers 2,
Let's see, Cloverfield.
for reference, in Helldivers 2, they have these bugs called the Terminats. It's basically like you have like spitting bile ones, like spit acid. You got these huge charger type, but there's these all small like hunters, and they're like flying roaches, basically with claws.
That's
And so
disgusting.
yeah, and so they can jump high in the air and jump towards you, whatever. Those look like the alien, the little small
Okay.
alien joints from Cloverfield.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
No, not
They try to
interested.
create a whole like Cloverfield universe.
Yeah, Clover Paradox.
The other ones,
Cloverfield too.
yeah, they
It
didn't.
didn't do too well. It didn't do too well.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It
the idea
was
wasn't
too different.
the idea wasn't. It's not the.
It wasn't fleshed out.
It's not something
No.
that can be repeated. Really, it was a good one-off story. But the moment
Yeah.
you start to try to tell the story, you kind of take away the magic.
Yeah, because it was. I think it was in what Paradox where they show where it crashed in the ocean that time.
Yeah, because it
You
was
wanna
showing
rewind it?
it was showing how it landed in the ocean because it really came from the alternate universe.
Oh yeah, they opened like a
They opened the portal,
yeah.
and that meteored into our universe, and that's what caused the whole paradox of the alien. Because at the end of the paradox, it showed the alien coming out the sky.
Yeah.
And so, or not coming out the sky, but like coming out and through the clouds. Because they thought they went back, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So they actually went forward in time where the alien was invading.
To tangent back to the where will we go thing, real quick. It's either underground or it's in the middle of the ocean. So we build a city that floats. Basically.
So Atlantis?
Yeah, like nigga Atlantis. And
It's
or Atlantis, because I believe Atlantis is niggas. Atlanta. Yeah, it's just Atlanta. It's just Atlanta.
Basically.
We just call it Atlanta, but it's in the ocean.
Nah, we gotta be Atlanta.
But day one, you gotta have a ton of energy.
I was looking at all these designs. I follow this lady on YouTube named, I think her name is Danny Lee or something like that. She just talks about, she's an architect. She just talks about weird designs for buildings and cities and environment, not environment, but in, like that. Places for people to live. And she was like pointing to all these like concept designs for like floating cities. And I was like, that's kind of, I had that idea once because me and Carl were talking about solar yachts. And I was like, I would get like a solar yacht community, and we
that'd be dope. Oh, like Water World.
Yeah, like Waterworld. Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's just us, and we're just on the ocean, and the only thing we would need is like some kind of some kind of satellite, so we could do some meteorology kind of stuff.
That's that'd be like a.
And then we could live out there on that ocean, man.
That'd be like Moana, like a little bit, sort of, kind of. But you know,
instead
they stopped at island.
I'm gonna say, Chris, you know that reminds me of the floating city. Remember that game Brink?
Oh yeah.
And they had the floating city from the mainland. That they were.
That's Carl singing Moana.
Moana.
Most baller song.
I agree. I agree.
Movie.
But in Brink, they had a floating city in the water that was linked to. That was away. It was like away from the mainland, I guess, because the city was like starting to sink, and like a corporation gave the technology for it to float or something. I forgot what it was, Creston, but
Yeah,
but it turned into
forgot
like
the
a
premise.
yeah, I forgot the premise, but basically it was a video game where like you were like the resistance trying to prevent them from like crashing the city or having the city just for rich folks. Basically, it was pretty interesting.
Like
It was ahead of its time.
Water Elysium.
Yeah, something like that. It was ahead of its time. It like that was the whole like being able to parkour over buildings and over obstacles and stuff like that. That's where that started.
Oh.
And then that's how in video games to start to incorporate more and more into different games.
Stuff.
Yeah. So well, for first person shooters at least.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones to do that.
And it was done pretty well, but it was like I said, it was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Bethesda game too.
It was.
Well,
Or at least published.
Maybe it'll come back. Yeah, Xbox owns it. Maybe find it on Game Pass.
This Xbox is on the brink.
Yeah. Oh, I'm done.
Xbox.
Oh, you're muted, Swab. I know you like that joke. So.
No, you good.
He did not like it whatsoever.
You know, I was over here laughing on the inside. You know.
I completely ignored it. I think I missed it, and then my brain replayed the conversation. I was like, "Did he say that?"
Yeah, he did.
It was disappointment.
This mofo.
But I mean, he's in full daddy mode now. So
there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he had been practicing for years. I would, in my opinion, you had been an expert long before you became a father. So I was like, yeah, you're gonna do great because them daddy jokes was coming out 2 years before fatherhood. So
right.
What are we talking about?
Our AR overload or overlords.
Oh, shit,
we're talking about a plan to get out of here, so you don't have to deal with that. You know, if anybody has extra dimensional capabilities, I'm not saying I'll go, but I just want to peek my head through the portal, see what it's like.
Check it out. Maybe it's better.
Or just send a drone through, you know.
Yeah, send a drone through. Make sure there's no crazy wildlife on that end. It can just chomp things down real quick. I don't want to walk through there and just be like dinosaurs, like, oh, this where y'all went?
It'd be like, what's that move?
We ain't never finding no skeletons.
Don't look up. Where they went to the other planet. And Meryl Streep got eaten.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, that joke's funny. Butt ass naked. They got fucking eaten by fucking horses.
Horses?
They were horse-like creatures. They were like, what is this? And like,
oh my gosh.
And they just like started attacking. They attacked Meryl Streep, and so you hear the screaming, and then you see a whole bunch of them come out. Started attacking like all the older folks
that escaped to the new planet after they destroyed.
There's no escape.
Mm-hmm.
Our closest star.
If you look up,
I think it's like how many? It was like some 1,000 years to get there if we were to use conventional.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, if there's no wormholes, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah, we're stuck.
And to be honest, that's pretty much every person in every galaxy.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, exactly.
In every solar system, right? Not even galaxy. Every solar system, because there's so much more space in space than there is stuff. So it's like
unless they solve, they've cracked the, they found a shortcut.
FTL or cryosleep.
Yeah.
FTL or they find a way to like basically create like a shell for you and transfer your consciousness, and then they quantumly entangle you.
No,
I don't know if I would trust that.
No.
I didn't say that's what I would do. I'm saying that is a way to teleport yourself, is if you could quantumly entangle yourself. So you
people do that, I'll just inform them. Just stay over there because there won't be a body here for you to come back to. We'll see how
like that.
If you're okay with it, it's all cool, right?
That Black Mirror episode.
What do you think's gonna happen if they come back to their body, Carl?
I don't know.
Like, will it be
Uh,
them?
that body won't be there though.
But I'm saying, like, why would you destroy the body? Like, why?
We need to really test how your conviction. That's just technology. It's
No,
no
I'm
big
just
deal.
saying, like, what's the fear that is like sparked
Like,
this
why the
action?
vengeance against the body? What the body do?
Like, what do you think?
Because being human is not just a consciousness. It is that integration with the body. And my instinct is if you were to do that, you're becoming a different person. And the more you do that, the bigger the drift from where you were to this new thing. And so I'm
You don't
like,
trust the new thing. You don't know what it is.
I do not.
So you just
No.
like, I'm not even gonna give you a chance to come back as some crazy deranged murderer. I'm
As
just
soon as you're gone, that body's going into the crematorium.
Immediately.
But if you have that technology, you'll just create another body and come back. So
You could try it. But any of those bodies that are
you start seeing materializing light, you just move like a vat of acid right underneath the spot.
listen,
They just drop it.
to be absent from the body, you should be present with God. And they're trying to create a new story here. And I say no. To the crematorium with you.
Not.
You don't want to travel the universe?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and figure out warp drive or FTL. Just I guess slightly different wormholes. Let's pursue these avenues.
But the consciousness one is so close, Carl. Come on, we can already create bodies. We got men cloning sheep in Montana.
We already have crematoriums. You're completely correct.
It's a real crematorium.
Oh man.
Putting that mofo
Absolutely
in the
not.
recycler.
Absolutely no skis.
That's funny.
All right. Anything else for this AI and
We need a
future?
a symposium to come up with a plan for all of us to.
Preston wants to address the black delegation.
Yeah.
That's his
I'm done.
final thoughts.
We need to seriously come up with a plan. What's our
I feel
as we get
I feel like
phased out.
the inevitability of it is helped me to not stress out as much, strangely, because there's no way to stop it. There's so much incentive to accelerate towards this, not just to keep going, but to accelerate. That it's just like, okay, well, there's really nothing we could do here unless you're trying to, start some guerrilla war with corporations and take down factories. And even then, the incentive is just too massive for that to even stop it.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at too.
Get working on that symposium.
Yeah, Kristen, go and start a Google Doc, man. Let's work out an agenda.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Man.
All right, so let's move on to slightly. That's the wrong joint. Whoops. Let's move on to what's good real quick. Slightly lighter fare.
Do you guys want to be playing while we do that, or else there's not going to be any playing? I'm sure, because it's already 1:22.
Let me see. So we're gonna play some Halo. Let me see if I make sure my Halo is up to date.
You were lying.
There was a lot of updates recently.
Oh, never mind. Well, I'm not playing tonight. Shoot,
Listen,
I haven't played Halo in 2 years. No,
that's
that long.
that's why I hit the download before we even went on.
Same.
And
Is
you
that
didn't send that through the chat to remind folks who forgot the games did that.
well? I started the download before you joined the chat, and then by the time you joined, it's already out of my mind.
I woke up like 10 minutes before I joined the chat. Like I was asleep.
Out of there.
A nigga has to take naps to do this now. I can't just do this anymore.
I'm just letting you know the process, since there was some accusatory tone that you took.
I know it's still there. It's still there. It doesn't matter when you started your download. You didn't remind anybody. That's my point.
My updates are completed, just in case you were curious.
Oh no, not at all. I can care even less.
Yo.
I also went ahead and downloaded the updates to Rocket League, just in case we did that.